This week, the ghost really is in the machine as we discuss the 1993 sci-fi horror Arcade. Everybody, and welcome to the Bloody Bits Horror Show. I am your host, Eddie, the Axe Jefferson, and joining me as always with a pocket full of quarters and a dream in his heart, Tim Yobo. How are you doing today, good sir?
I'm doing very well, but I didn't hear the intro music or the axe sound.
You didn't hear it? You know why? Because it's stuck in fucking preview mode again. Eddie.
That's why I'm just sitting here
the
like...
Axe Jefferson. You know what? I'll have to cut it in post. Tim, thank you for pointing that out.
Yeah, thanks for my first video that people are seeing our faces.
I know.
I look confused for 15 seconds.
Tim, you always look confused. So
I got that Tucker Carlson look on my face.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At least you don't have the bow tie.
That's true.
The bow tie, not a good look. You know,
not a good look.
Not for an adult man. That is, you know. What are you going to do about it?
Unless you're on top of a wedding cake, then it's okay.
Yeah, fair. If you're on top of a wedding cake, that's that's more of a Ben Shapiro job, is to stand on top of wedding cakes.
Yeah. He could stand actually on a wedding cake without crushing it.
It's true. Yeah. I think they use him as a 1-for-1 model when they're making those wedding cake toppers. What a weird fucking thing we do. We have a cake where we have to put a little doll of people on top of it because they got married.
And don't people eat the shit?
The dolls?
Yeah, they're made out of like sugar or confection or something like that. I think they're edible, or they used to be. Because I remember like, TV shows and movies, stuff like that, where the thing was where somebody bit the head off of one of the groom or the bride. Yeah.
I mean,
wouldn't have done that if it was made out of wood or plastic.
Right. Unless it was Crimes of the Future. then
well, they were really pissed off. Yeah,
and some of the people would. Yeah. So before we get to the show proper, we've got a little bit of I don't know, paperwork to get through. A little bit of
you might have noticed that there's not 3 cameras going.
You might notice that. First of all, you might notice there's cameras going, and that's if you're on the Patreon at patreon.com/bloodybits. You get access to not only the blood bank, not only the bonus episodes, but a video feed. You can watch us discuss these movies, so you can see my face when I'm pissed off because of something.
You can see me smoking.
Yeah, we could watch Tim smoke weed, and you can see me get angry at Seth Green's character Stilts.
Oh my god!
But the elephant out of the room, I think, that we need to address, Tim, is or element in the room. You know, more astute longtime listeners to the show will probably notice that we didn't do the intro that I generally do for Candice, which is, you know, I'll try to find some sort of deprecating character or something and then refer to that as being Candice. Well, in a bit of sadder news for the podcast, but happy news in general, Candice has decided that she is approaching some other ventures outside of the podcast, and that because of that and other commitments, she is not going to be able to join us and really truly commit.
She used this as a springboard, and then soon as she got a little bit of taste of that fame,
a little notoriety,
she's like, throw us away.
No, so she's as she announced last week, she's going to be working on her book, and I know she's, you know, between that. Her book Gape, yeah. And so I guess between that and guesting on a bunch of other shows and everything, she's just doesn't really have the time to dedicate to doing the podcast. So to allay any concerns, first of all, there are no ill will, no bad feelings between anybody.
Yeah, she's still in the Discord and everything like that.
Yeah.
We didn't kick her out of the Discord. She didn't jump out of the Discord. No. Wait until that book deal comes through then. Then let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's going to be is amicable. So until she's rich and famous, and then she's like, "Oh, who? I never heard of those fuckers." You know?
No. When she gets rich and famous, we're going to sue her because we gave her the idea for that. Where else is she coming up with Gape? Right?
That's fair.
The proof. Yeah.
I'm going to be like, listen.
Too good of a name.
Listen to the podcast. All of the good ideas come from Tim and I. So that's where it was all coming from.
Yeah.
But Tim, I'm going to have to defer.
And I like it because now, actually, I'm sorry, I'm a little selfish because now I moved up on the smartest person ladder on the podcast.
Yeah, now you're the tied for first.
Smartest, yeah. All right.
Second
I'll take that.
Tim, I don't know about it. We should do that as a goof. Just take like IQ tests or something.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work out wonderfully.
We'll do IQ tests, and then we'll each do give a sperm sample and see who's more virile also.
Which one would you rather lose?
That's a good question. Which one would I rather be, smarter or more virile?
Women can smell that shit.
They can smell virility? Or they can smell intelligence?
Yeah, maybe both. So back to 50-50 shot.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I feel like I'm dumb enough that it doesn't matter. Either way, I'm just happy, I'm having a good time.
I feel like I'd rather be smart enough not to get anybody pregnant and live my life the way I want to.
See, Tim, I think that's why you'll win the smart part. I might win the virile part. So, if we're going by those metrics. So, here we are wrapping. Well, not wrapping entirely. We've got a couple more weeks of it left, but we're getting into 1993. We're now fully, you might say, balls deep into 1993 with the movie Arcade. But Tim, before we get to that, buddy,
was this 94?
This is 93. According to Internet Movie Database, this is 93.
Okay, because when I was watching it, I hit pause. I could have sworn it said 94, and I was like, "Wait, did we skip us there?"
So,
all right.
In with the trivia of it, there's a lot of confusion about the releases of it. And
I wonder why.
Because technically it came out in 93, though the CGI effects for part of it, the sky cycles, if you remember those, the original CGI of it.
Well, neither sky nor cycles.
Because the original CGI for it, Tim, was just the light cycles from Tron.
I have written down, it's like, here comes the light cycles from Tron.
Yeah, so then they Disney was going to sue them, clearly. So they had to go out and redo the CGI for that.
Okay, here's how you get around that. Show a picture of the Tron game while somebody's playing the light cycles.
Yeah, that's smart.
Right? Then you're promoting their arcade game and their movie at the same time with that, But it's still Disney. Back then, Disney would probably sue you for anything.
Yeah. Still, Disney would probably sue you for anything.
Well, no, Steamboat Willie is in public domain.
Oh, that's true.
Or if he's not, he's going to be soon, right? I think it's like only a matter of time before fucking Goofy's out there just doing whatever the fuck Goofy does.
Do people still care about Mickey Mouse? Because that's the big one with the public domain. They don't want to lose Mickey Mouse.
I just don't think I don't think anybody cares about Mickey Mouse. I don't think anybody's like watching old Mickey Mouse cartoons. Maybe Fantasia, right? You've probably shown that to your kids, right?
No. Are there new Mickey Mouse cartoons?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah, I was gonna say because why do they really? I don't know. I mean,
I think he's just the symbol. He's the logo.
Yeah.
That's when you see those ears.
Yeah.
I think pretty much anybody in the world who has a TV in the last 50 years knows what those ears are.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
so that's why they don't want it to be in public domain because how many things can you fill in underneath those fucking ears that fucking mouse can be doing?
Yeah, fair. I mean, we've got the Calvin pissing on everything logos. Pretty soon you're going to see the mouse ears like eating out Catwoman.
There's going to be some mouse porn. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's going to be
the mouse steps porn. Back. Yeah.
Oh man. So Tim, what have you been consuming this week, buddy?
Well, I think we talked about it on Monday. I saw maybe one of the best movies in the last 10 years that I've seen.
Arcade.
Godzilla. No. That's on video. Godzilla -1. If you haven't seen it, Eddie, you have to go see it. It is.
Yeah.
I am not a Godzilla fan by any stretch of the imagination. I remember a long, long time ago. sorry, I think going to see the one that was in 85 with Raymond Burr, like sliced into the movie. The Japanese movie, and they just sliced him into it. And then seeing all like the stupid fucking Gazuki fucking things, the thing where he's fighting the fucking turtle and all that shit. The two little people in the fucking bird cage part of the Godzilla thing. So I always just assume, it's not for me.
Right.
But this movie is right up my fucking alley because I like when movies do shit like this, like incredible stuff, but do it seriously, right?
Yes, yeah. When you take and try to make that like in a realistic universe, that's fascinating.
You've said it many times. Why is The Exorcist so good? Because it's grounded in reality, and by the time we get to the fucking possession part, every medical thing, psychological thing has been tried and tested. And nothing else is answering the question, what's wrong?
They're desperate by the end of it. They're it's not like the first thought is like, oh, clearly it's an exorcism thing. Because you would never fucking think that, Tim. You would go through every possibility first.
Look. Once that little fucking bitch levitates a bed, I'm like, you know what? I don't care how much of a fucking epileptic she could be. She can't fucking vibrate the bed up in the air that fast.
Yeah, then you're like, I got to go get some milk. I'll be right back.
All the way down the corner. I'll be back with a pack of cigarettes. But I also saw it in 4DX, which that's another thing. If you can see it,
they don't have it like that here.
That's crazy because I got one. It just opened up for me. It opened up in a gigantic hotel / mall. That's like in a developing part of Flushing where I live, which is like before it was like all barren shit. Now there was a Skyview Mall opened up. Now this gigantic hotel opened up, and they got the fucking movie theater right in the mall.
Okay.
I walk in there Monday at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm like basically the only fucking person walking around the whole goddamn thing. It's so new, and where it's hidden, nobody fucking knows about the goddamn thing yet. But in 5 years, and all the other hotels and the high rises open up around there, they'll be making money. But it was not what I expected at all because when I got the ticket, I looked on YouTube and like what to expect from 4DX with the seats moving back and forth. There's supposed to be like water spraying in your face. And I'm like, you know what? I'm a New Yorker. I've gone to movie theaters my whole life. I don't want liquid sprayed on my fucking face in a movie theater no matter what.
Yeah.
So, but you're able to turn that off. So that was nice. But some of the effects that it has is the way the seats are rocking at parts where we're in the ocean on this little fucking boat. You felt like you were on a fucking boat on the ocean.
So
and it was like a small boat.
Wow.
And Eddie, later on when you're on like a gigantic fucking warship, you could feel the boat going, but it's a different way of motioning because it's on a bigger fucking boat.
Interesting.
And they're like little fucking air puffs coming behind your fucking head for like when bullets are being shot, so it feels like they're fucking whizzing past your head.
That's cool.
Don't be a fucking epileptic in 4DX because there's fucking strobe lights all over the goddamn place where people are shooting guns.
Okay.
And let's see, the other thing too, there was some kind of smell that they kept releasing every once in a while, but it kind of like smelled like sandalwood or like sawdust a little bit. But maybe that's like Godzilla was fucking shit up and there was sawdust in the air, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe like a sulfur or something from the fire.
Yeah, something like that. But the seats next to me, which were empty, their mist was on. So, because there's also fans blowing wind all over the fucking thing. So it's like you're in a storm, you can feel it blowing from the left to the right. So I was getting hit with a little bit of mist from the seats next to me.
Okay.
But it was really incredible. And I will say the only disappointment that I had is that every time I looked on the 4DX, one of the things is they have fog, which was released in the movie theater. They have the strobe lights, which were done. The seat, which I almost got thrown out of the seat 2 times with how fucking crazy that shit was rocking at certain points. I don't know how you're going to eat popcorn or any kind of fucking food in this movie seat because that shit's going to, your hot dog's going to be 8 fucking rows down in front of you when you fucking rocking back and forth.
It sounds dangerous.
So
Somebody's
the lightning,
choke.
the fog, the strobe lights. And then what they kept saying on the goddamn thing, I was like, what? Bubbles. Bubbles.
Why?
And they show on the videos, not of this movie, but they show the videos of bubbles being released over the audience. And I'm like, what the fuck? But here's what's crazy. At one point in this movie, without giving any spoilers, they're talking about something that's going to create a lot of bubbles in the ocean. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. I'm watching. I'm like, did they put this just in for fucking 4DX? Because they're like, hey, we can use the bubbles. No bubbles.
So it's like Godzilla ate a bunch of burritos or something. They're like, he's going to fart. And then bubbles everywhere.
I don't want to spoil it, but yes, he did eat a Dorito factory in Japan. Yes. But story-wise, it is so fucking good. It's one of those movies... it's not a ghost story. It's a story with a ghost in it.
Right, yeah.
It's not a vampire movie. It's a movie with a vampire in it. Yeah. One of those things.
So,
and
would you then say it's kind of comparable to The Host, the Korean movie The Host?
Yes, because it gives you characters that you care about.
Yeah. And
you spend enough time with them to know them and like be concerned with them and know what's going on in their life. So when shit starts happening, you're like, oh shit, I don't want to see that fucking kid get squashed by a fucking Godzilla.
Okay.
Where Bryan Cranston ones, I don't fucking give a shit about any of them.
Yeah.
Once Walter White's dead, why do I give a shit about any of them?
Yeah, that's true. That's the hard part that they usually have in those kaiju movies is it's like you care so much about the monsters and what's going on with them. Who the fuck cares about the people? You know?
Plus, it's an $18 million fucking movie. They made this movie for $18 million
That's
fucking
insane.
dollars. And it is some of the best CGI I have ever seen in my life. There was almost nothing when I was watching this movie and I was like, all right, that looks bullshit. That looks like CGI.
Well, but had you seen Arcade before that?
No, that's I might have, because I remember seeing this little fucking asshole kid skateboarding around on something. And I was like, no, there's no way I saw this movie. I saw Seth Green show up, but
yeah,
I saw that fucking kid. And I was like, I wish somebody would have taken his eye out.
A young Seth Green too, man. Let me tell you.
Oh man, hats off to Seth Green.
Really, yeah, really.
He's made a career out of being Seth Green.
Out of nothing. Out of just being Seth Green. Out of nepotism. Right?
Oh, wait, who is he?
Isn't he a Nepo baby, Seth Green? I could have swore like one of his parents.
I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, because all he had was red hair and an attitude.
Well, that's enough for you, Tim.
That's well, I don't have, thank God I don't have red hair.
Yeah. What was...
My face is too white for red hair.
Yes, I'm looking at his bio. I swear to God, he was
Austin Powers' son. Maybe that's why.
That could be it. Yeah,
I'm not Austin Powers.
He was Dr. Evil's son.
Dr. Evil's kid. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm mistaking him for somebody else. But yeah, no. I mean, hats off to him. You're right for making like between this and Can't Hardly Wait, then making a career. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And now he just does like what, Robot Chicken all the time?
Well, I mean, I've not seen too many episodes, but I know that show has been on long enough, and a lot of people like it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he must be doing something right.
Well, between that and then like being the voice of Chris on Family Guy, I think he's good.
I think maybe my entire life I've seen maybe 30 minutes entirely of Family Guy. Just not a show for me.
I think that's all you need.
I can't stand the animation on it, the fucking balls on his fucking chin, and who's the guy who does it? Seth MacFarlane?
Seth MacFarlane, yeah.
Just too much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, not a real big fan of Seth MacFarlane stuff either.
We already had a Robin Williams. Calm down.
Yeah. So I've been playing a little Baldur's Gate 3.
I bought it.
You did?
I did.
Tim, I swear to God, I want to watch you play this game.
I stopped it because I spent like a fucking hour building the goddamn character with it.
Oh, yeah.
What the fuck these goddamn things are.
Oh, Tim, buddy. You know...
Tiefling?
Oh, Tiefling. You made a Tiefling.
Tiefling. I think I made a Tiefling, yeah.
Do you remember?
Then I had to pick my Guardian.
Yeah. Do you remember what class you picked?
I think... It's not Druid. What's the other one that starts with a D?
It's not Druid.
Druid?
Dryad? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, spent about 45 minutes doing that and about like 10 minutes playing before I had to jump on the podcast. I got up to the part where we got where I got to make the choice, I guess, between saving that stupid bitch and the fucking cocoon.
Or
going on to get out of the Sphincter Castle. The fuck? How many assholes has that thing's got?
A lot of assholes. So, Tim, you got Barbarian, Bard, Cleric, Druid, Fighter, Monk, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Sorcerer.
Oh, no. What's the class that you have to pick before that?
What?
Like your race.
Yeah, that's the race. Race is different than class.
Yeah, race isn't. Yeah.
But you said you picked tiefling. That's the race.
Tiefling. Okay. Then what was it?
Then for classes, you've got barbarian, bard, cleric, druid, fighter, monk, paladin, ranger, rogue, sorcerer, warlock, or wizard.
I think I took druid.
Okay, so a tiefling.
Yeah, because I got a staff that does some magic shit sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You figure you're a druid because in the game of Dungeons and Dragons, you have a staff that does some magic shit sometimes. Okay, fair.
It says like every time I hit somebody with it, I got a chance of doing a critical hit on them. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, you might have picked Drow. That starts with a D.
I think that's the one I picked. Yes,
okay.
I like the sound of that class.
So you got a Drow druid.
Yeah, because there were two choices. There was one where somebody was in a cult that like everybody is afraid of as soon as they see the markings on your face.
Yeah, you don't want to be
and
that.
And then another one that was kind of like the good guy. I was the bad guy.
Oh, you're playing a bad guy run.
Let's see.
Yeah. So I got back into it because I tried playing it before, and I was like, man, this is too much. Right, because I got this whole party of people. I got to manage all of their equipment. I got to level them all up. I got to care about them. Yada yada yada. And somebody just pointed out to me, "Hey, dummy, you can just not have anybody in your group. You can just tell everybody to go fuck themselves if you want."
So you're just gonna do it all by yourself?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to do a solo run.
Is that possible?
It's possible for me.
Well, look at you.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make like a badass, like a monk, So I got like a stick that I'm just like beating the shit out of people with, and it'll do magic sometimes.
And sometimes it does magic sometimes.
So
sometimes it does religion. Yeah.
Sometimes, so I guess I'm a druid then at that point. Oh, man. So, Tim.
I already had like 3 different times I had to fucking roll the dice, and I lost every goddamn fucking time.
Oh, man. So... But other than like, I dig the way they do the interface with the dice rolls and stuff, because later on you'll get little like optional things where it's like, do you want to use this spell to give you a bonus on it this time or whatever? And
okay,
you can select all that.
A boost on get a good roll. Yeah,
yeah.
I do like the way that they're doing the I guess the dungeon master thing. Like when you look at something and you hear the person saying like, your mind is being clouded as you read this.
Oh, yeah, like the narration and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's a fantastic game. I get why I got Game of the Year. Like, it's... Because, like, especially, like, the level of choice and how much it impacts your gameplay later on.
Dude, there was, like, fucking 6 different penises I could choose for my character.
It's true, there's a lot of different penises you can pick. That's a good point. No, this guy...
What's stupid is they have the part where you pick your penis, but, like, 2 rows down is where you take your clothes off so you can see what the fuck you're doing. Because I'm like...
Yeah.
I'm moving around A, B, C. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck I got. I can't even see a bulge in the pants. Then, well, take off the pants and you see the schlong.
And boom, there you go. Yeah, you can see the labia if you're making a lady character or whatever. Yeah,
zoom in far enough.
Zoom in far enough. Yeah, I mean that's half the value of the game right there.
Yes, I think. Well, yeah, that was one of the big things because you're like actually fucking this game.
Right? Yeah, you can. You can
fuck anything.
Well, I don't know about anything, but
just about
certainly. Like, did you? So did you see some of the bad guys up there, the mind flayers?
Yes.
Okay, so those
the fucking worms in the eye. Yeah,
the squid head guys.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, you can fuck those.
Okay.
Yeah. Man. So speaking of fucked, Arcade, Tim. Now you're not sure if this is your first viewing of Arcade.
I'm almost positive I saw the scene where he's first going through the VR game.
Okay.
But everything else, I don't remember anything else about this movie at all. So, I mean, this movie's so fucking bad. It has to be on, like, YouTube, some clip like that, like the 50 worst movies ever fucking made.
It's really fucking bad.
Babyface actors who just better give it up and just stay playing 8-year-olds.
Yeah, it's really fucking bad. And you know what? I've never seen it either. This is my first viewing of it. I asked my wife. I was like, "Can you go look through some '93 horror movies and find some shit
that might have come out in '94?"
Yeah, well, that might have also come out in '91 or '92, because this one has been it was delayed twice, and then it had to get recalled because of the light cycle shit. And dude,
I'm just surprised at this point they were talking about VR.
I know. Back in '92. I mean, because when was Lawnmower? We've been over this. When was Lawnmower Man?
I have no idea, but I don't think it was.
It would have been
Was it earlier than 92?
No, 92 was Lawnmower Man. So there you go.
So VR was the zeitgeist. Everybody was talking about VR. Yeah.
What was your first experience with VR? Have you ever? Well, first of all, have you ever played a VR game?
No, I've never played a VR game. I'm not going to invest $1,200 fucking dollars to run myself into a wall or something like that.
You don't need $1,200, Tim.
Whatever.
They're like $200.
$200. What kind of games are there where it's just like I'm sitting on a fucking roller coaster or shit like that? But I don't know. I would think the earliest I remember anything with VR is probably that fucking Nintendo Vex machine.
Oh, the Virtual Boy?
Or the, yeah, no, there was another thing.
Vectrex.
Vectrex,
yeah. That was not Nintendo, but it was the Vector graphics.
Yeah, different company. Yeah.
So like, what's the Tempest? Tempest was one of the big Vectrex Vector graphics.
Great game, yeah.
Fantastic game, yeah. Better. You know what? Looked better than the VR in this fucking movie.
Oh my god, what was that fucking thing that we did for the mini bin? The Tales from the Crypt game.
Oh God, yeah,
that's what these graphics are. That's what these fucking graphics are.
Tales from the Crypt Keeper, the fucking the
beat the Crypt Keeper,
one with Old Digger,
meat or something like that. Yeah. Don't turn the subtitles on.
No, definitely not. But so okay, this movie, first of all, co-written by Charles Band, of course.
No, it says based on an idea by Charles Band.
That's writing as far as...
Based on an idea by...
I'd love to hear
that's
the
how
idea.
I'm going to get Candice. When she hits number one, she's on Oprah's book club, I'm going to be like, based on an idea by Yobo. Where's my cut?
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to hear what the idea was that this was based on.
Hey, kids are playing video games, right? Make something about that.
Them damn kids are rotting their brains in front of the TV with the video games. What if it killed them? I guess that's the idea. But also written by David Goyer. David, Tim, you would probably go on to know a lot more of his work because he wrote the screenplay for the Blade movie.
I knew I recognized the name. I didn't know where I recognized it from, but I knew I recognized the name.
Also wrote the screenplay for Dark City.
Great movie.
Fantastic movie.
The Matrix before The Matrix.
Really? Yeah. And a little movie called, let me take a look here, The Dark Knight from 2008.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Insane, right? That guy fucking wrote this shit.
I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
I mean, yeah. David S. Goyer. So, guy's pretty prolific. He's done a lot. Didn't really do a lot before this, though. He, it's funny. I was actually just talking about David S. Goyer with Matt Anderson, but his first thing was, the Van Damme movie.
As you do, yes.
Yeah. The Van Damme movie Death Warrant. It's early.
Van Damme, and I know the movie, but how is it different than any other Van Damme movie? So
that's fair. I mean, that's fair. So he wrote that, and he also wrote Demonic Toys. I don't know if you've ever seen that one, Tim.
I've seen it in the Blood Bank. That's where like the little fucking dolls are fighting the puppet masters. It's a puppet master ripoff.
That's Doll Man versus Demonic Toys you're thinking of, Tim.
That's what I'm thinking about, yeah.
Yeah, no, Demonic Toys came out before that. So, and this guy also wrote
the crossover we were all begging for, yeah.
This guy also wrote...
Nobody wanted Aliens versus Predator. We all want Doll Man versus Demonic Toys.
Yeah, I mean, look, man, it was 1993, okay? We needed some little puppets fighting a cop that got shrunk to the size of a puppet. We were all waiting for that.
Story idea by
fucking shit movie. Yeah, story idea, of course, by Charles Band. And then he wrote The Crow City of Angels. That piece of shit.
Is it the second one?
Yeah.
Is that the second? Oh my fucking god!
Terrible. Imagine that guy.
The only thing is, I could say, if you like that chick's eyes, it's a great movie because I think like 30% of that movie is just a close up of her eye.
A lot of zoom in on the eye. So then you got Megan Ward who plays Alex in this. Probably best known as her role as the love interest in Encino Man. She was in Amityville 2, the weird It's About Time Amityville. And then...
Was that the second one with the haunted clock?
Yes. She was in that one. And she was in Joe's Apartment.
The cockroach thing.
The cockroach thing.
Whew. All right.
So she sure can pick them.
Mm-hmm.
She needs a new agent, is what she needs.
She needs a new agent. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah. Then you've got Peter Billingsley.
Oh my God.
What you think of Ralphie in the movie, Tim?
Unfortunately for this guy, he looks exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
And it's such an iconic movie that every time you look at him, and especially with him looking the same now. I mean, you look at Seth Green now, you could see that Seth Green in this movie, but what he looks like now is completely different.
He's aged a little. Looks like a grown man.
He looks exactly like he did as Ralphie, except they're putting and making him just like a fucking 1950s beatnik fucking poet.
Yeah,
with the fucking black turtleneck and the fucking sunglasses on.
Dude, oh my God. The sunglasses in this movie, I've got so many fucking problems with.
We have to try to make him cool. How do you make him cool? Put sunglasses on.
Everybody's wearing sunglasses. Oh, yeah. So yeah, Ralphie, of course, from A Christmas Story. He plays, what the fuck was his name in this? Nick.
Yeah,
he plays Nick in this. He plays the...
Nick the cuck.
Nick the friend zone.
Yeah. At one point I've written down, well, now that's awkward, isn't it?
Yeah. Then you've got Sharon Farrell, who plays Alex's mom, who's in it for a couple
She looked familiar to me.
Yeah, she was in Night of the Comet.
Okay.
And Can't Buy Me Love.
All
you
right.
probably remember more from that.
Night of the Comet.
Yeah. So she was in there a little bit. Then, I mean, we've alluded to it, of course. Seth Green plays Stilts, who's technically a bloody buddy because he ran by a scene of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in the background.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. John.
Oh, yeah, that's a Nepo baby move. Yeah. That's how you get in that Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yep. John DeLance, who plays Difford. The guy who's trying to sell the video games.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You've probably seen him in a million things. He was actually in Crank High Voltage, just as kind of like an extra.
I recognize him from being on Law & Order SVU.
Yeah.
Don't ask me what episode, but I know he was on it, and I'll think about it before the podcast is done, what his crime was.
So I know he was in Law & Order LA.
Okay, he's in that Dick Wolf universe. That's a good. Let me tell you, that's a great fucking. If you're an actor, that's a great fucking gig to have. Anything if Dick Wolf likes you, you got your fucking career made because you got like 18 different fucking shows that you can pop up on. I know Law and Order SVU doesn't give a shit about how like 2 years ago you were this character and now that's it. Now you're the police commissioner, and now 3 years later, now you're just a regular fucking bum on the street who witnessed a crime. They'll fucking mix up the actors. And he's got enough shows that you can work forever.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out which ones, because in a number of Star Trek properties, he played Q.
Yes.
Which makes sense. But I'm trying to... which ones was he Q in, though? Oh, Next Generation. He was Q in 8 episodes. There you go.
That's how everybody.
There you go, Tim. That's where you
not Law and Order SVU Q. Yeah,
more like SVQ.
Well, he could do whatever he wanted, right?
That's true. He could.
So
there'd be some very special victims in that universe.
I was 3 galaxies away.
Right. Exactly. Look, it wasn't me. So. That's basically all of the actors' notes that I have for this one. I mean, there's a couple of like other character actors in it, but largely this movie didn't really have a big budget. I don't know if you could tell that, Tim.
Maybe a couple $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell when it says Full Moon Entertainment at the beginning.
That's what I have written down. Oh boy, Full Moon, and then I've written down. Oh, it's that kid. based on an idea by Charles Band. We're all 2 minutes and 45 minutes. 2 minutes and 45 seconds of fucking credits in this movie.
So much credit, and oh my god, and they're so trying to pull for runtime in this because the movie is
lingering shots of when they get out of the car and she goes in the fucking gate.
Yes.
And then like 30 seconds later, you see Billingsley walk by. He goes in the gate. You see the fucking door shut, and I was like, are we gonna wait for the fucking rope to stop swinging before the camera moves away from it?
There's just like one scene where it's like their little bad kids click or whatever, and they all decide like, let's go to the arcade. Yeah. And the camera
when
just
they're
like
walking on the beach.
Yeah, the camera just like hangs on them, doing nothing for an extra like 30, 40 seconds. And I think it's because the runtime on this movie is like 80 minutes. So they really,
minutes, I think it is, yeah.
They really had to stretch.
I think by law you need to have 88 minutes.
Yeah, legally. Otherwise it's not counted as a movie. So we open up on Alex, and she's waxing poetic about her mom blowing her fucking brains out. Now, she's talking to a doctor about it, but it could be a school counselor. I'm really confused with what's happening.
Does this movie have the audacity? It looked almost like the fucking opening scene to Blade Runner with the way that they were trying to shoot it.
Yeah.
Like from high up above with the fucking light shining in. And I'm like, so, all right, so that happened to your mom. What would happen if you saw a tortoise turned upside down in the desert?
Oh god, yeah. No, if you're going to steal from anything, steal from Blade Runner. You know,
that's right.
But
science fiction, right?
They really didn't do that in this movie. I don't know what the fuck they were going for, but they didn't do it well. Oh wait, you know what? Before we get to it, would you suggest people watch the movie?
No.
No?
I mean, unless you just want to see how bad it is.
But it's not so bad it's good in your book.
No. Except for, no, because even the parts where they're in the fucking game, it looks like such crap.
Yeah, it does look like shit, although...
The game isn't interesting at all that they're playing.
No. It's barely a game.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. It's I might say to watch it because I don't know. In my mind, it's on the fence of so bad it's good, you know. And there's several scenes of it that I had to stop and pause for a second. Because I'm like, really? Is that fucking? Did that just happen? And make notes of like several scenes that just don't even fucking make sense. Like when they're going through the like weird like wonky desert environment and they find the kid that's drowning in the pool, like that whole exchange doesn't make any sense. The dealing with the riddle of the truth teller and the liar, like that doesn't make any fucking sense. None of it really makes a lot of sense together as like a cohesive story, but it's so tough though to suggest, because it's I guess if it were a little shorter, like if this was say 60 minutes, then I'd say great, watch it, put it on while you're fucking around, just because you could tune in and see some of the most batshit movie scenes you've ever seen in you know, a crazy 90s VR movie. For that purpose, I could say, yeah, you might want to watch it, but dude, like, don't lock your attention in on it. Don't like get a popcorn and sit there to watch it. That's just
it
not
would be great
enjoyable.
if it was an episode of Tales from the Crypt, or Tales from the Dark Side, Monsters, yes. Right? Any of those anthology shows where it was in and out.
Yeah,
you don't need 88 minutes for this fucking story.
No, because there's like side story shit that I don't care about. Like it's.
Plus, also, Eddie, while I was taking a piss, I was still hearing you talk. Thanks for filling in. We have to remember, this game has no logic because it's basically a 4-year-old kid, right? When I heard that line, which is almost delivered as a throwaway line, I had to rewind it twice.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Brain cells?
Yeah.
What?
When the guy's just like, well, some sacrifices had to be made, so I took my like a few 100,000 of my son's brain cells and put it in the game, and I'm like, pause. What the fuck are you? I mean, that's literally why I said Ghost is inside the machine, because technically it is in this one.
Do you think that after taking the brain cells from his son only wanted to play Space Invaders?
No, I think he wanted to play Madden.
That was I took that as a high fucking insult because Space Invaders is a great fucking game.
It is a good game.
Disparage that goddamn game.
I mean, it's no Galaga, but it's good.
Guy who's 30 years old to be hanging out in the fucking arcade with all those kids.
Yeah. I'm not gonna play a game there. What do they got? Space Invaders
sucks. Yeah.
What that fucking
actually it does suck. It's a horrible arcade.
Also, we never get any there's never any payoff on the arcade bully. We never circle back to him. You know,
have him play the game or he gets killed by right. He's the first one.
Right, or what it is you know what it is, Tim? The chick Alex, she plays the game and she gets some superpower that she can bring to the real world and punishes that bully with it. That's usually what would happen in this movie, right? Yeah,
because you can Freddy Krueger this movie.
You can, because that shit happens in real life, right? Mm-hmm. So it would be like in Lawnmower Man. Remember everybody that teased him for being stupid, and then he burned them and shit.
I saw that movie once when it came out, and I can't even be sure if I finished watching it.
Yeah, not a very good one, but you know. So okay, she's talking to this therapist. And the therapist, by the way, is zero fucking help because by the end of it, Alex is convinced that her mother killing herself is her fault. Not good for a therapist to do that to this poor girl whose mom.
Is their therapist is like a school fucking counselor or something like that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure because then they're like, well, we're going to need another 6 months of therapy or something. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Well, she's bilking the city for the money, yeah.
You know what? Could be, Tim.
Billing hours, that's right, yeah.
So
fuck her up, make her feel guilty. She's going to be coming back more than if you tell her everything is okay.
So Alex leaves the therapist/counselor's office and goes to hang out with, and I want to say this is either the bad kids or the nerds. I'm on the fence.
They're not the bad kids. There's no way that anybody's looking at Seth Green, although he does have some fucking Napoleon complex later on in the arcade.
Yes.
It looks like a little fucking pit bull, right? So maybe, but no, man, you got fucking Ralphie in your crew.
Yeah, fair.
There's no way you're the bad club. You're the bad guys.
No. I mean, the worst thing that could happen is he could get his tongue stuck to something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or
somebody shoots his eye out.
Somebody shoots his eye
out. With a BB gun,
yeah, something like that.
You bash somebody over the head with a lamp that's shaped like a leg.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, if your bad kids group is Ralphie and Seth Green, you fucked up.
We should do the Breakfast Club, but with this group.
Yeah. The brunch club.
Man, the fucking plaid shirts, the fucking dress that she's wearing.
All of their clothing.
He's wearing a fucking turtleneck shirt. And I'm like, no kids wore fucking turtleneck shirts.
Unless they were raised by their grandparents. You ever know any kids like that were raised by their because their parents were out of the picture?
Well, I was kind of almost half raised by my grandmother. But I never had any clothes like that.
I mean, 100%. There was this kid, Cody, that I grew up with. He was raised by his grandparents. Mm-hmm. And he was always a little bit weird. You know?
I could see how it can happen.
It was 1986, and he's, really into Elvis. And it's
I was just gonna say, well, if you don't think that parents just don't understand, what do you think about grandparents?
Yeah, just something always a little bit weird, always packing a lunch, and there's like you'd say, a liverwurst,
with those little fucking peppermint candies in it.
Yeah, peppermint candies in the bologna. Not pimentos, not something that would make sense. Peppermint candies.
Goddamn liverwurst. Oof.
I
I can't believe I ate that. I can't believe I fucking ate that shit.
Well, yeah, given your dietary restrictions, it makes sense.
I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
If I would have known what it was, I would have been no, fuck that shit. But I guess the name liver should have given me a tip off on it, but...
Yeah, and then the word worst after that. Not even liver
it's
best.
The worst part of liver, yeah.
Which is supposed to be liver sausage, worst or whatever. But
like a bratwurst, right?
Yeah. But I've also seen it called Braunschweiger.
Better name.
Yeah, a little bit better name. I have to agree with you there, buddy.
I would have had a Brahmspringer sandwich a lot faster than I would ever have a liverwurst sandwich.
Tim would rather have a Rumspringa sandwich.
Rumspringa, Brahmspringer.
Rammstein sandwich.
That's when you're 18 years old. They let you out to see what's out there besides liverwurst.
Yeah, and whatever it is, it's better. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, all of their fucking outfits, all of the clothing they're wearing. Yeah, the weird like mock turtleneck with the sunglasses. Her weird like flower print that it looks like. You know what her dress looks like? It looks like the curtains that they have at like some really shitty Indian restaurant in a strip mall.
And it has like 3 layers on the dress too.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's definitely a very modest dress. That's for sure. So they run over to Don.
Which I'm surprised with a dad like that. You think she'd be out there fucking showing her cheeks or something.
Yeah, you think so? You think she'd be showing cheeks?
Mom off the shelf. Dad is just sitting on the fucking couch.
Yeah, Dad, by the way,
Right?
which they refer to him as being a basket case. That's what his diagnosis is. Mm-hmm. Which I guess that just means that he's depressed that his wife killed herself, so he lays on the couch.
And it is the early 90s, so as a guy, if your wife commits suicide, you're not supposed to show any emotion. You're supposed to go to work the next day. That's it. Yeah.
Exactly. So what they do is they go to this arcade called Dante's Inferno. Right. And this place is in hell. It's in the basement from the pawn shop in Pulp Fiction, where there's just like a weird blue light over everything, and it's all
fog machine.
Yeah, fog machine. Like I used to go to arcades when I was a kid. I don't remember this.
No, they were either very like open and sterile, or they were dingy, but not like this. I've never been to an underground. I mean, this is literally an underground arcade. And I've heard that. What happens if it rains? All your fucking equipment is fucking flooded.
Oh, God, yeah. And then that Simpsons pinball machine that they have in there, that thing's fucked, you know? So
I wonder where they got... Well, obviously they rented all this shit.
Yeah, yeah. So then I guess like the bully's motive here is he goes to the arcade to tell everybody he doesn't like the arcade.
Yeah.
And then try to start...
That's how cool he is, yeah.
And then try to start a fight with 3 children. So then the arcade owner comes by, and he's like, what? You trying to start some shit in my arcade? This is a place of positivity, punk.
This guy, no, he was giving me Lou from Fight Club vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
Who knows what's happening at 12 o'clock in the a.m. at this fucking club?
Oh, yeah. There's just a time where they're open, but they don't have any customers coming in, if you know what I mean.
That's right. The bartender turns off the lights, everybody out. That's it.
Having a meeting.
Somebody beats the shit out of Seth Green because they want to see something beautiful destroyed.
Oh, man. You throw me, Seth Green is Angel Face in a Fight Club scenario, buddy. It's almost as fulfilling as watching the real Angel Face get pummeled to fucking shit.
That is, to this day, that's still one of my favorite parts of the movie.
This is Leto.
And every time I hear more and more stuff about him, I'm more like, I really love that fucking part.
Total piece of shit, that guy. So anyway, they're approached by the creepiest video game salesman old guy who really is interested in these teenagers. And now,
hey everybody, follow me into this back room.
Yeah. Now, Tim, you're a guy who likes a good scam, right?
Yes.
So this guy's scam is he set up this experimental VR arcade cabinet in this one arcade, right? And he's also giving out home versions of the arcade cabinet to all of the children.
Impossible. Nope.
So that they
ain't happening. Yeah.
Yeah. So that they can like focus test it.
Back then there was no eBay, so it'd be a little bit tougher to sell, but I could make some money off of selling that fucking kit to somebody.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. And could you imagine
like their competition? How about that? Sell it to fucking Activision.
Yeah, well, Activision 92 isn't doing so hot.
They need something to get their asses back in the game.
I bet Sega would have bought it.
Yeah, Sega. Yeah.
They had Sega had 3D glasses all the way back in the Master System era, so before the Genesis even.
Oh God!
Remember that with 3D World Runner?
Shit. Were they like the wraparounds?
No. Hold on here.
Because I'm almost positive I had it. Because
did you have a Master System?
Yes.
Okay.
The original Sega machine.
Yeah, I guess they are wraparounds. I'll send you a link to them. It's not Jar Jar's asshole, I promise.
Okay.
And we're back. Sorry for that little technical difficulty there. My fan on my computer made a fun noise. Then I tried to bang the fan real quick. Not fuck it, but just, kind of knock it loose a little. And
dude, you don't want to stick your fucking dick near a fan.
Yeah, it didn't really work out too well. My computer decided it wanted to reboot. So we're okay, though, now. No noise, all good.
We're back.
We are back. So this dickhead's trying to sell them on this VR game that has an adaptive AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
that every time you play it, it's going to be different. It learns from you. It's got the greatest fucking cabinet I've probably seen on any video game ever.
Yeah.
Right?
It looks like a souped-up version of the old Star Wars cabinet. Remember that, the Star Wars fighter?
Yeah, but this thing actually closes you in.
Yeah, that's true. So it looks more like those VR games they have at Dave and Buster's nowadays that cost $10 to play it.
Man, somebody's whacking off on one of those things.
Oh, 100%, Tim. The main reason to get VR nowadays is for porn. Uh-oh.
You know what? I think I'm going to spend $200.
Tim, buddy, just imagine some big old titties in your face. Okay, Tim's just got sold on VR. Everybody, we're going to set up a GoFundMe for Tim Yobo for Christmas.
I'll buy the device, but everybody's got to GoFundMe for whatever the OnlyFans page in VR is going to cost.
Oh, God, Tim, speaking of, have you seen the latest drama on Twitch? With chicks with their tits out
on Twitch.
Yeah, Tim, buddy,
you can do that.
So here, I'll show you. Let me send you a link here to what's getting to be hot on Twitch here, and that's this lady. You know what? I probably shouldn't say what her name is because. I honestly, if I'm going to be perfectly frank, don't support it. But basically, Tim, what she does...
Come on, man. Be a bra.
Yeah. Basically, what this chick does, Tim, is she is naked. And she has rubbed oil on her boobs, right? And she frames it to the camera to where... Basically, the areolas, that's where it...
She's hiding the nipples, though.
Well, it cuts off the framing. The very bottom of the camera is right where her nipples would be.
Let me tell you, I've mentioned it many times before, but I'll never forget when my friend Mario told me, if you don't see the nipple, it doesn't count.
That's true. That is very true. The problem with this, of course, Tim, is that Twitch is an all-ages platform that specifically, at least used to, try to market to 13 and up.
Yeah, but they have to have, because there have been sometimes where I've joined channels where it says, caution, this is using adult language, it's going to be used and stuff like that. I mean, maybe not nudity, but if we can be on Twitch with all the shit that we fucking say,
then nudity's...
Should we take our tits out?
Nudity's fine, is what you're saying, Tim?
I mean, well, technically she's not showing her nipples, so when does a breast become fully nude?
When does a breast become fully nude? That's a good question. Well, I'll put it to you this way, Tim. If your wife walked in and you were watching this, I gotta say you probably would have to answer some questions. I'll put it that way. So anyhow, people.
Well, no, it's gonna be fucked up. Oh man, because no, you know how she's gonna catch me now? Because I got a fucking VR headset on while I'm watching fucking Twitch.
Yeah. So you're just wearing a VR headset, whacking it, and your wife walks in. Like, what's going on? You're like, I'm playing a video game.
That's got to be a whole new genre of porn, right? Where instead of like getting caught, that's it. Now you're caught watching VR porn.
Yeah. Yeah, people getting caught watching VR porn. All right, so I'm gonna let's see here if I can take a picture of this for you. Because I want to send you a picture. I want you to tell me if when your wife walked in, and you had the TV on, let's say, right? And this, can I? You know what? I don't even think it'll let me just put a picture in here. I'm gonna have to do this in the Discord.
I'm waiting for it. Oh,
okay. So now this is going to be Jar Jar's asshole.
Waiting.
It takes a second. Hold on, I'm not done yet. So there we go. Okay, there we are. All right, so coming into Discord, I'm going to show you. This is a very famous Twitch streamer because she's a porn star who decided to go hit up. Oh,
easy money.
See. All right.
I'm disappointed. I'm
for some because for some fucking reason, Tim, Discord's telling me I can't send you this picture.
You got my number? Send it to me. Give me a text
message. On my phone. It says, "Whoa there, Tim has requested that Discord block any messages our mostly accurate robot deems to be explicit, so your message can't be sent." So, Tim, you have
that's what the robot says?
Tim, you have explicit messages blocked.
No,
Tim, I'm telling you, that's what the robot says, bud. You know what? I'm gonna go on X. How about that? X gonna get you.
There you go.
That they don't give a fuck. They're not woke.
They just let Alex Jones back on. They obviously don't give a fuck. Yeah, you remember how when people were petitioning Elon to put Alex Jones back on, and Elon Musk said, "I will never do that because I had my son die in my arms, and I will never platform somebody who makes fun or talks about exploiting children's deaths." He's back on.
Okay, well, that makes sense.
He went on Tucker the other day, and now he's back on Twitter.
That makes sense.
And he's on Twitter already saying that his boy Nick Fuentes got him on by talking to Elon, the white supremacist guy.
Nick Fuentes.
Talked to Elon,
the white supremacist guy with the last name Fuentes.
Hey, look. they're going to love you.
Yeah, fair. I guess you can always be self-loathing. So, yeah, that right there, Tim, that's an example.
Oh, shit.
That's an example of what's hot on Twitch. Tim's getting his serious face on now.
It never worked. It never worked when you try to stand up and look down the TV screen. It just doesn't work. Okay, so I bet you she's probably in the top 5 of Twitch streamers right now.
Yeah. So and a lot of people are pointing out that it's well, why are they doing this? And a lot of people are pointing out, well, the adult industry is already pretty saturated. So if you want to make your way and you want to get yourself a new audience, just go find some kids.
I mean, she's not showing anything.
Yeah. So if your wife,
there's nothing. If she was going out in a low cut shirt, but her nipples are covered. It's the same thing, right?
Fair. So, Tim, what I want you to do is make that the wallpaper on your phone.
I'll make it whenever my wife calls me. This is what pops up.
Yeah, so that's funny. So they plug in our buddy into this adaptive AI VR game. By the way, the game is called...
That only cost $0.25.
Yeah, only cost $0.25, and the game itself is called Arcade. That seems like a...
I was very confused by that. That's not good marketing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Go to the arcade to play arcade?
Mommy, I want you to buy me that new game. What's it called? Video game.
No, the only good thing you can get out of it is when it comes home to the home market, now you can have arcade in your house.
See, that's the other...
Now the arcade is in your house.
That's the other thing, is when the guy said, okay, look, here's the home version of it. I remember in 92, when you got the home version of an arcade game, it sucked ass.
That's what they used to give you on game shows when you were second place. The home version of Family Feud, the home version of Wheel of Fortune.
Hey, you're not a total loser. Here's the board game version where you can.
I remember for a long time Jeopardy. That was one of the fucking prizes was the home version of Jeopardy. Yeah. No,
that's just when they ran out of advertisers to give them fucking products. So they're our own product, I guess. Yeah.
But what's crazy about this, and again, this kind of goes back to just me being in New York. I'm not sticking my face in anything like that other people have had access to in an arcade.
No.
And I am by hell no fucking means putting my hands into a fucking glove that's been sitting there in an arcade.
That's like there's a hat store out on the pier. It's kind of a touristy area out here. There's a store that just sells hats. Yeah, I know.
Tourists love hats. Why is that? Why do people go on vacation and buy stupid fucking hats that they wouldn't buy?
I don't know, Tim. It's the Disney thing with the mouse ears, right? And before you ask, no, they don't fit my head. I get it. Okay.
We heard that story. Yes. I know. Yeah.
But
you stumped the fucking hat lady. She was like calling up the warehouse. Come on, we got to get something.
Here's the thing. Like, I shave my head. I don't keep a ton of hair going on there, so I'm not too worried about it. But Tim, if I had a luxurious mane such as yourself, I wouldn't be just putting foreign hats on my head.
No, that's how you get fucking lice.
That's how you get chiggers or whatever the fuck you get in your hair.
Is that what you call them out there?
Yeah. No, we don't call them that.
No, lice. Yeah. It's just lice. That's how you... What the fuck is a chigger? Chigger gets underneath your skin.
They're those little red bugs that live in wheat, I think. I think they live in a wheat germ. Oh, no, that's weevils. That's right. So this dickhead's playing fucking... Nick gets sucked into this blinding light, and he starts playing the arcade game. And first of all, okay, the game looks like... The first level, I guess...
Oh, don't forget there's an escape button.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. So you get adaptive gloves that I have to assume are like haptic feedback because the guy's like, whenever you play the game...
There are wires coming out of all the fingers and the thumbs.
So he's like, whenever you play the game...
Because he says you can pick something up in the game.
You can pick up all the tools in the game and actually manipulate them and feel them, like with haptic... Like, Tim, like your 4X experience that you had.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
dude, I was literally gripping on the seat.
So they give him these gloves, and then they say, and here's the joystick.
There's two joysticks, like you're fucking driving a tank or something like that.
If you have the gloves, why do you need joysticks? That's stupid, but whatever.
I thought the same thing.
So they strap him into this fucking game. He goes in there, and the game that he's playing is basically like Tony Hawk meets Flappy Bird.
No, I'm telling you, it is that fucking Tales from the Crypt game. That is. That is the level of the graphic. It is. Yeah.
It's just the shitty, like, Legends of the Hidden Temple era.
It's like old Doom, but just slightly done. Like maybe Doom on Nintendo 64. Going down the halls and shit like that. Or Duke Nukem, something like that.
So the guy tells him, like, listen, whatever you do, if it gets too hairy for you, just hit the eject button, right? So he gets in there, and then he's, flying around there, laughing, having a good time. And then this skeleton, like, skull flies over. Old Digger flies over and tries to eat him. So he hits.
It does sound like the same voice, doesn't it?
It does.
Again, it sounds like the same voice from the fucking game show. What came first?
Oh, this came first. This had to have. Yeah, who did the voice of Arcade, by the way? Jonathan Fuller?
It wasn't that little kid.
Who the fuck is Jonathan Fuller? That sounds familiar. Oh, okay. He was in Castle Freak. That makes sense. The guy that did the voice of the monster in Arcade was in Castle Freak. Charles Band, of course. What do you expect?
Of course,
Yep. So, by the way, not a lot of nudity in this movie for a band movie.
Well, they're all kind of young, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, but there are other characters in it that could have been nude.
Yeah, that's true. The mom,
Holy
right?
shit, this is...
I'm going to kill myself. I might as well let the girls out.
How is this rated R? Yeah.
Is it? Oh, I know how it's rated R, because Billingsley says fuck 2 times because he's trying to get some street fucking cred.
That's it, huh? Because he says fuck 2 times. Because there's no blood in it, really. I mean, other than the mother with the cartoon, but...
Yeah, I bet you that also helps get it on.
Yeah, showing it in frame. Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, no nudity. So, what are you going to do? There could have been VR nudity. There could have been, like, the sexy skeleton that he tries to hook up with.
I don't know, like some fucking chick dancing through that fucking desert wasteland.
Jesus. Yeah, the could have been like The Cell, the Jennifer Lopez movie with that desert wasteland.
That's a great movie.
Fantastic. Way better than this. So while he's jacked in there, the salesman guy takes all the other kids. He's like, hey, let's go in the other room and sign a waiver so I can give you these free home versions.
Mm-hmm.
So he hands out all these demo units. And then, Greg skates around. And then he just runs into Aku Aku from the Crash Bandicoot games, but he's cyberpunk. And I guess that's the bad guy.
It just makes no sense because, first of all, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, this is going to be the most boring video game to watch anybody else play because all you're doing is looking at somebody in a fucking cabinet reacting to stuff that you can't see.
And how that translates in a movie is it makes it one of the most boring scenes in a movie that you could watch.
And then just how do you have an arcade game that is obviously going to be, I'm assuming it's probably the most fucking advanced arcade game at the time?
I mean, it would have to
But there's a home version of it that you can play?
Yeah. Well, like I was saying, the home version of it is always a shitty stripped down one. Like the Ninja Turtles arcade game.
Oh, this shit's real. Look at that fucking helmet they got, the face mask they got.
The goggles. Yeah,
that shit wasn't.
That's so funny. I'm surprised that you don't see Seth Green wearing goggles, considering that in Can't Hardly Wait, all he does is wear goggles. That's his character trait. So anyhow,
he's a great actor. That guy, I'll tell you, he knows.
So anyhow, Greg gets sucked into the machine while everybody's getting their freebie home unit hooked up. And his girlfriend, Alex, goes back down there to look. And she's like, where the fuck is Greg? And everybody answers like, oh, he got bored. I bet he went outside.
Did we mention that this is the boyfriend-girlfriend matchup, but Ralphie obviously is pining for her?
1,000,000%. Because this entire movie is her and Ralphie.
Yeah, that's why he has the sunglasses on, so she doesn't see him looking at her all the time.
Well, maybe then because if he's wearing the sunglasses, she can't recognize him as being the guy from Christmas Story.
You look like the slightly older brother of Ralphie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I mean, look, he just looks exactly the fucking same. It's so distracting how he looks the same.
It's like Corey Feldman. These kid stars, so many of them, somebody gave them some hormone or some shit that fucked them up because they all just look the same now. They all just look like they did when they were kids. Some people kind of grow into it.
Maybe that's what happens when Hillary Clinton drains your adrenochrome.
Yeah.
You stay stuck in that age.
That could be, Tim. So then, but some of them grow into it, like Jerry O'Connell, right? He was a kid star, but he looks like
But he still looks like he looks, when you see a
similar.
picture of him as a kid and you see him now, you're like, yes, I could see. That was him as a kid. This is him as an adult grown person. But Billingsley and both the Coreys, you're 100% right. When you look at them now, they look exactly the same.
There's something creepy that happens with them, man.
Is Emmanuel Lewis still around? What is he looking like?
He's dead, right?
Is he?
Yeah, didn't he I think the underdog blimp crashed into him or something.
Look, if they're using Emmanuel Lewis as a holder of the underdog blimp on the Macy Day Parade, even on a day where there's no wind.
Yeah. Is he still alive? I know I'm looking it up. I got to see if he's still alive. He was his last thing he was in was Kicking It Old School in 2007.
Okay, so he made it past probably what I would thought he would have made it past, but
guess he is still alive. Oh no!
What about the Webster kid?
That wasn't the Webster kid.
No,
Webster's Emmanuel Lewis.
Yeah, that's
You're thinking of the other little person.
Gary Coleman.
Yeah, he's dead.
Going from Different Strokes. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know he's dead. Yeah,
he died of a stroke. No, that'd be funny though to say.
What kind of stroke? We don't know. It's kind of different.
No, he had a kidney condition.
Yes, I know that was a big thing with him for a long time. But also, wasn't he guy fucking pulling guns on people?
Was he? No, he died of a fucking brain hemorrhage.
Hervé Village.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah. No, he's the one. I remember there was some weird story about how he was married, but was still a virgin because his wife never had sex with him. Gary Cole. Yeah. Not a lot of good going on.
You know who that? You know who the original ones are, and I don't know if you're going to know this. This might be a New York thing. Do you know the name Curtis Lewa?
No.
Do you know the group, the Guardian Angels?
Yeah.
Okay, he was the founder of the Guardian Angels, and after like 3 or 4 years, he married a woman named Lisa Sliwa because they got married, so she had a name. And their whole thing was they were not having sex.
Why?
Like when they announced that they were getting married, he announced that they were not going to have sex at all. But yes, they were getting. He was this guy, he's one of these right wing guys who does all this crazy shit. When he was head of the Guardian Angels, he said that the Gaudis tried to kidnap him, and then it got found out to be a hoax. He one time called the cops because people were shooting at him, and then they found out that it was other Guardian Angels on a roof throwing firecrackers, so he could say that people were trying to shoot at him and all that stuff. So, but I remember that was a huge thing, is that when he married Lisa Sliwa, they were like both adamant about it. Like they were not going to have sex while they were married. There's the fuck?
Well, that's funny because in 2000 or 2010, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer. And they say if you don't have enough sex, they say if you don't have enough sex, it can be bad for your prostate.
Use it or lose it,
He may have dug his own grave there. So,
well, if somebody would have dug a little bit more into his ass, his prostate might have been okay. I noticed it.
No kidding, man. So, so her boyfriend ends up missing. She's looking for him, can't find him. Middle of the night, she calls up Ralphie.
12:30. She calls this guy's mother. And the mother is unconcerned that the son. Oh, wait, you're his girlfriend? You're not with him? You're calling me up to ask me where he is? It's 12:30. I don't know. She's okay. And then 12:35, she calls the friend.
Now, Tim, this dude sounds pissed off that she's calling him at 12:30.
Yeah, I don't get this. Dude, this is your
game.
Yes, this is where you start telling her, oh, man, it's 12:30. He's either dead or he's banging somebody else. So if he shows up to school tomorrow, you know he cheated on you.
Just say, I don't think he's with Cindy.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
I don't know why I mean, I know they've been getting to be friends lately, but I don't know I don't think he'd go out with Cindy and not tell you, or his mom. Anyhow, you want to come hang out?
It's very weird because he's into her, right?
Yeah.
Because at one point he says, I have feelings for you.
Yeah.
Right before the boyfriend shows up.
Exactly, yeah.
But his attitude towards her is like he's nagging her.
He's annoyed that...
Almost as bad as the fucking VR machine is nagging this chick.
Because he's like annoyed that she called. He's like, oh, God, what do you want? I'm like, dude...
I was just jerking off to you. Why'd you fucking call?
Dude, it's 12:30. You could fuck her now. That's the point. Whatever. So, yeah, she tries playing the game at home, and Aku in there tells her, oh, yeah, your boyfriend Greg's in here with me, and he's never going to come home.
Which, by the way, did you see how she connected this fucking VR machine to her TV by just tuning it into the fucking antenna, like a RF cable switch box from the Atari 2600?
Yeah.
She put that shit on channel 3 and she was in VR.
Yeah. Just, like a Nintendo, like the classic.
It took more to hook up a Nintendo than it does to hook up this game. It's one fucking coaxial cable going into the back of the TV.
Yeah, it's pretty handy. Which is funny is because those coaxial cables are just small antennas. Isn't that funny? Yeah, because it's just a really small, short distance broadcast antenna. That's why the signal quality is so shitty with them, and you got to wiggle them around. Remember having to fuck with it and wiggle it and get the right angle? And
yeah.
HDMI is so much better. Life has gotten a lot better since then. Let me tell you.
TV wise, yes.
So she heads over to Nick's, and he is all obsessed over some cube that he found in the game. And he keeps saying it's this is like DNA. This is like the DNA of...
It's a molecule, yeah.
And he's like...
What is this game? What the fuck is this game?
It's not a game. It's just I guess you skateboard past the first level, and then after that, they ran out of ideas.
Sometimes you're in a skateboard dungeon where you got to get past all these fucking spikes and fucking traps, and other times just holding fucking molecules in your hand.
Exactly, yeah. So... Okay, so she's convinced Greg's in the game, right? And that he's alive, and that the game is alive. So Rick kind of hand waves it off. He's like, yeah, whatever. Listen, why don't you go home and forget about it? And she's like, okay, well, that's weird, but how about just don't play the game just in case, okay? Because dude's missing. It's 12:30. I called you, so I must be desperate. You know, something's going on.
Yeah. Oh, no, this is the guy she's calling. She's like, I think he's cheating on me. He doesn't really care about me that much. This is the guy who's answering. Yeah, I'm
so glad you're such a good friend.
So glad I have a guy I can talk about these things with. How horrible my boyfriend is.
So glad I've got a guy that I can just like complain to about just inane shit. So then when my boyfriend shows up, I'm in a better mood and I don't, complain to him.
I got it all out.
Oh God. So that's like my wife has started.
Oh, the memories are flooding back.
My wife loves arguing with people on Twitter now. And I'm encouraging it.
I've seen her do it a couple of times.
She's good at it. I'll give her credit. But I'm encouraging it because I'm like, let's get all the fight out of you. Let's just devenom the rattlesnake before we go to bed. So fellas,
it's a good idea.
Life pro tip. Get your woman really pissed off at some guy on Twitter and then just leave.
Yeah, it's something or somebody that's not you.
Yes. And when she comes to you, this is going to be the hardest part. When she comes to you, telling you about the conversation, all you do is agree with her. Never play devil's advocate.
No. That's it. Yeah. No, fuck
this. It sounds like duh, of course, but I swear to you, you're going to feel an inclination. Just don't do it. Yeah. So then I guess like some time passes. So the next day she goes to see her friends, right? Now they're all missing.
There's only three of them.
There's only
right?
her, Nick, and Dead Meat. I don't know who the other guy is. Oh, no, Stilts, Seth Green, right?
Yeah, it's just Seth Green and one other chick, right?
No, because it's Seth Green, her, and Nick that are left at the weird.
The three.
Because Stilts, Seth Green's character, and Nick are talking.
Oh, that's right. Nick, that's why they have this. Yeah.
Nick is admitting to a sex crime. He's like, I just saw the chick over there with her fucking tits, so I just grabbed them. And she was like, and I'm like, that's assault, brother. You can't do that. Anyway, so she's all like, hey, where is everybody? And they're like, oh, they're sick. And she's like, everybody's sick? What the fuck are you talking about? So they head over to their friend Lori's house to see what's going wrong with Lori. And Lori is staring at a blank screen, smiling like an idiot.
Yo, she's got a fucking freaky look on her face. When that camera first flashes on her, it's like better than anything you see in that fucking movie. Smile.
Oh, dude, 100%. Except for when the head flips in the car window on Smile. That was the best part.
No, that's bullshit. Don't show it to me in the fucking commercial.
Yeah, don't put it in the trailer, 100%. But that was probably the best part of that fucking piece of shit. So they go over to Lori's house, and she's talking about, she's like, oh, do you see them? Do you see the angels? And I'm like, all right, now's when you leave. Now's you just turn around.
Now there's angels in this game?
The game's not even...
Dungeons?
The game's not even on, Tim. You know, this is what's going to happen to you in Baldur's Gate. You spent so much time with the guy's dick, you're going to get too wrapped up in it. You're never going to leave.
I was a little disappointed there wasn't a customization where I couldn't just build my own dick.
Oh, yeah, just like from whole cloth. Just like you get a little, like a nerve of like...
maybe I want a spot on it, something. Maybe there's a bump on this part, something,
you want it uncircumcised. Maybe you want like some sort of a chlamydia shanker on there or something. You know, it was the dark ages. I'm sure that people had all sorts of diseases. So
got that rot cock, yeah.
So fucking. This broad's bitching about, I see angels. There's all these angels in the screen. And then not Seth Green's character, Ralphie's character grabs like a coat rack and just like rams it into the TV. And then Lori just like falls over dead. So now
That was an expensive TV back then,
yeah.
by the way, that he fucked up.
So,
but, you could have just unplugged the game.
Yeah, well, she figures that out later, right? So now they're standing around next to their dead friend, and they're like, well, shit, how are we going to handle this situation? Because my boyfriend's missing. Now there's a dead broad. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, by the way, Nick was just hoping they'd go over there, and and her boyfriend was just balls deep in Lori.
Yeah, well, the fucked up thing is, as soon as the cops are on it, but the first thing they're going to be suspecting is the bad boy, Peter Billingsley.
Yeah, 100%.
So he's in trouble, yeah. He's got to cover this shit up.
Yeah, I mean, he covered up the shooting the eye out by saying it was an icicle that fell off of the roof and hit him in the eye. Maybe he could say an icicle fell on her. But, Tim, very convenient. Her body vanishes. Because
we just get troned all over the place. It gets
sucked into the game. And I think there's like a little piece of her chewing gum laying on the ground next to the controller or something, because there's some weird white thing. And this,
you can't gum up the computer.
No, you're not allowed to take gum into the computer. So anyhow, Alex is like, look, why don't we go find the programmer of the game? He can teach us how to beat the game. So they show up at this business, this place of business, this office where professional people make a living, right? And fucking Ralphie starts screaming about virgin sacrifices and Satan and shit.
Hey, it always works.
Yeah? Would that work for you, Tim? Say you were working there?
No,
you were working
93?
Yeah.
Satanic Panic was probably still around at that point, right?
Fair,
just better to shut the kid up. Just let him see, the top salesman and the program of the games, right?
So they get in.
Somebody should do that at EA. Just go there and start screaming about child sacrifices and devil and see if you get to meet the programmers.
No, you're not getting. I mean, you might maybe if you get enough microtransactions through them. Maybe you buy enough packs so you can get the elite team and NBA too.
You need FIFA. Well, it's not even called FIFA anymore. So
right,
whatever the soccer game is.
Yeah, to buy all the fucking packs so you can get a decent team. Spend like fucking $3,000 on a game.
I knew somebody at Madden who every year was spending at least $500 or $600 fucking real world dollars to get other people to get their cards.
I can't even understand it. I can't.
Nope.
I have like full-on real-ass games that I wouldn't spend $500 on, let alone Madden.
Well, he justified it by it was the only game that he bought. So instead of like somebody like me buying maybe 5 or 6 games a year, he bought that one game and he put all that money into that one game.
Look, I mean, I get the value add. Like people who are playing MMOs, they're paying $15, $20 a month. So there's a couple $100 a year, but they're also playing it 40 hours a fucking month. So it's like, okay, compared to going to go see your Godzilla -1, that's pretty cheap per hour of entertainment.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, don't forget, you can't buy popcorn, so it's even a cheaper ticket.
Oh, yeah, true. Well, because you popcorn with the 4DX fucking experience, it end up in a bubble floating away from you. Like a goddamn.
Because I snuck a can of ginger ale in because I'm like, I'm not paying fucking $12 for a Pepsi because for whatever reason, all the 4DX things are fucking sponsored by Pepsi. I am not fucking drinking Pepsi.
No. If you're going to spend.
So I got a can of ginger ale. I brought it in with me. I put it in a little cup holder. And as soon as they gave us a little preview of like what to expect before the movie started, I was like, okay. So I had to do this. I had to put my hand over the fucking can, the entire fucking thing. And then like for the first 15 minutes of the movie, I'm like, all right, they're just walking. They're talking. I can drink it really quick without it getting a fucking spilled all over myself. And Andy, I swear, halfway through the fucking can of ginger, it was flat from all the fucking bouncing around. I was like, it might as well have been shaking the fucking can up. So I can't imagine eating popcorn or any fucking like nachos.
Nachos would be a problem. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll tell you what, though. It'd be a good way to tell if a chick can deep throat. You just buy her a corn dog.
No. Because I was thinking the other thing, too, is nobody's getting jerked off in this fucking
Tim,
movie.
You might, though. She could just grab your dick and then just let it bounce. You get enough of the bubbles with the soap?
No, because she's going to maybe be thrown out of the fucking chair, so she's really going to have the death grip on that goddamn thing.
Just get your
2 times. I almost literally got fucking flipped out of the goddamn chair.
So you just get your cock ripped off at Godzilla minus dick, I guess? I don't know.
When you buy the ticket, it comes with a disclaimer that you can't be they're not held responsible for any injuries. Because also, the other thing too is the fucking seats lift up like 6 inches above the ground.
So...
Because at one point I tried to put my feet down, and I couldn't fucking reach the goddamn ground.
So just differed from this fucking movie out there with waivers. Sign all this before you go in there, so that the game doesn't. I mean, that the movie doesn't kill you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all they needed with this game is a non-disclosure act, and you can't sue us no matter what happens to you.
Yeah. So this is, I guess, they talk to the guy, and Alex says, "Listen, this game's alive, right?" But Nick's move is he's like, look, man, just listen. All we need are some tips for the game. He's like, shut up, bitch. You're acting crazy. We're trying to talk to the right guy. This is just a salesman. I want the fucking programmer.
Yeah, this is the guy who's just screaming about child sacrifices and
now he's the voice.
He's telling her, you're acting crazy.
No, he's the voice of reason. Exactly. Ralphie from Christmas Story. So yeah, then he's like, listen, you don't want us to say the game sucks, do you? You don't want us telling other kids. And
the game is too hard.
You
don't want to tell the game is too hard. And I'm thinking at this time, you're fucking idiot because in 93, oh no.
92, 91.
91, 92, 94. That's when games were fucking hard. They were still hard at that time.
No,
it's only like the last like 15 years where games are like super. Because I could play fucking Baldur's Gate 3 on like a fucking like tourist mode where like fucking nothing's ever going to kill me or anything like that. You couldn't do that on any fucking Super Mario games.
Well, and it makes sense for modern games because we don't really do arcades anymore. So the whole idea of like we need to get more money out of the consumer, so let's make the game like unbearably hard to play. That's kind of out the window. Why? Because once you've bought the game, they got their money. What the fuck do they care? You know?
Yeah, but I would just think, look, Elden Ring. How much was that kicking everybody's fucking
it's a hard-ass game, yeah.
And people fucking loved the game because it was so hard and unforgiving,
rewarding,
right?
Yeah.
Versus
when you win.
Playing Red Dead Redemption on Rookie.
Yeah. Yeah, nah.
Well, not Rookie, because you're not actually a rookie
it's like,
cowboy
like
or whatever.
It's like with BioShock, right? There's zero consequence for dying. As a matter of fact, you get to a spot, you're like, I'm low on health. If I just die, I'll pop back up.
If I die now, I regenerate and I got
get more ammo, that kind of thing. Yeah. So yeah. No, back in 92, if you told them that a game was hard, they'd just be like, I guess you're a pussy. I don't know.
Well, yeah, especially because Billingsley's supposed to be the greatest fucking arcade guy in the fucking town, right? He beats all the games, so.
Absolutely. So he gets them over to the programmer, right? And the programmer is the guy that tells them, listen, the way you have to play the game, first of all, it's got my dead kid's brain in it, just so you know. Which I feel like that might be illegal.
I mean, it's his kid,
also,
right?
How does it have your kid's brain in it? Describe for me how that works. Is it in the arcade cabinet? Is it in the home version? Is it...
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, I mean, you got billions and billions of brain cells, right?
Yeah.
So you could have enough for all the arcades and all the, hopefully, all the home units that you're going to sell.
Yeah, I mean, how many... We're going to need another...
After a while, then you just go like to, like some poor country and get like poor kids' brain cells to put in the game.
Going to China, just getting a bunch of kids and being like, listen, man,
you got a choice: grinding in World of Warcraft or open a or brain
dude.
surgery,
if you thought it was fucking difficult to beat the game when it was just some American kid's brain that was in there, you start throwing in fucking foreign language.
Throw some kid who knows math.
Yeah. You throw in Japan, China, some kids that like actually know how to go to school and shit. Not these fucking slouches we got over here. We're fucked. I mean, it's like I say when I play Tetris 99. As soon as I log in, if I see everybody I'm playing against, their name is a bunch of like little characters and shit, I lost. I'm done. I give up. They're way better. It's either that or like Grandma Cat Lover 44, some bitch that's been playing Tetris every day since the original Game Boy.
Since the original Game Boy.
Just fucking wrecks
No, it wasn't Game Boy. It was actual video game. Yeah, then it went to Game Boy. Then it became huge on Game Boy.
Game Boy is where it popped off. Yeah, for sure. So anyway, they're like, all right, well, we're going to go back. You gave us these tips, which is a schematic, which is not a schematic. It's clip art with a bar graph. There's no map. There's nothing. There's nothing that would be helpful on this fucking paperwork that this dickhead gives them. So anyway, they talk to him, and he's all like, well, you got to you have to open up the mind of Arcade and unlock its heart. Then you can escape his brain back to our reality. The problem is that nobody can do it yet. So here's the map. Now you have to go find 7 keys for 7 doors to get there. And yeah, so they're like, okay, great. They get the information from him. And then dude tells him, but really just what you should do is not play the game. Right, because you're going to die. And she, of course, Alex is like, no, I can't. My boyfriend's in there. And fucking cuck boy over there is like, yeah, we have to go save her boyfriend so I can continue not having sex with her and continue being Ralphie from fucking Christmas Story. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. If I was him, I'd go break the game. If I was fucking Ralphie, I'd go down to the fucking Dante's Inferno arcade like you were saying, Tim. I'd just pull the hose up, flood the fucking place, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Then that boyfriend ain't coming back. Hey, sweetheart, you want to come play a couple of games? I got a joystick for you right here. It's an interactive game. You put it in your pussy.
And if you want, we'll still use the glove.
Yeah, we can still use the glove. That's fine. I'm not trying to get anybody pregnant here. So they go back to Dante's Inferno to play it. And when they get there, it looks like the world's ending for some reason.
Here's what I have written down at one point. Now this thing can control the weather?
Yeah, because
when they're in the house with the first chick who dies playing the game, all of a sudden the fucking wind blows throughout the whole house. And now this part, there's fucking tumbleweeds going past the goddamn arcade.
Well, Tim, once Lawnmower Man was able to start using the abilities in the real world, that's when the true horror begins. See? Makes sense.
Just
in the arcade world or whatever the fuck is going. So yeah, they get there. The arcade's empty, but we hear all the cool, creepy like whispers. Then they go over to the fucking arcade machine, start arguing over who's going to play, right? Because Alex is a woman.
How is this a 2-player game all of a sudden? Well,
Alex isn't going to play because she's a woman, and women suck at video games, right? So Nick has to play.
But this is what kind of loser he is. There's 1 seat and 1 viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on my lap.
Oh, Tim, you're so right, buddy.
To sit on my lap.
Tim,
what the fuck?
Tim, buddy, I'm telling you, man. These kids these days, back in '94,
they don't got the moves.
They don't. They just don't got the moves. So then, like you said, now somehow it's a 2-player game.
Because she puts 2 quarters in. What does that mean? That means I play the game and I got a credit for the next game. It's a 1-player game.
Yeah, exactly. There's only 1 helmet. How the fuck is she? Yeah. Whatever. Maybe
the home version doesn't come with 2 fucking helmets and 2 gloves.
No, it's a single-player game. I think it's established this is a single-player game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever.
But the game changes, whatever.
Oh, yeah, it can evolve.
So, yeah.
Because it's got a 4-year-old's brain in it.
The ending of this.
The most brilliant mind for video gaming ever. A 4-year-old. Something that can barely do colors.
Why isn't this game just going, fuck you, you motherfucking cocksucker, N-word, 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 right? Just like any other fucking 4-year-old on a video game. I was going to say, because, Tim, they didn't put your brain in it. Okay.
They didn't put your buddy Stooley or whatever's brain in it. Then, your cop buddy put his brain in the game. Oh God, forget it.
There we go. Yeah,
you're just at the create a character and you slide the ethnicity slider a little too far and
nope, not playing this.
Game over.
I'm done.
You're dead.
Wait a second. I can pick my pronouns.
Wait a minute.
Nope,
you start
done.
the game in jail? That doesn't make any sense.
Non-binary. What?
Yeah. Well, now I'm playing as a white character, and I started out with a mansion. This doesn't make any sense. What's going on here? And I'm the hero now. Okay, well, that's weird. So they start playing the fucking game, and immediately they're in the dumb skateboard level. And by the way, they get in there. She's like, oh, shit, where's the schematics that the guy gave me? Because I can't bring them into the game world. Then she pulls down her sleeve. Good thing I wrote it on my arm. Now, hold on.
Yep.
How?
When?
No.
Why?
If you wrote it in your arm in real life, how is that in the game?
Well, they're in the game. I'm assuming that underneath their clothes, they're not completely smooth and hairless, right? So whatever they have in the real world at this point that's on their bodies being brought into the game.
Okay, so then where are the schematics?
Well, the schematics would be something that she would have to be holding in her hand, a physical thing. It's like, kind of like the Terminator. You only go back with like synthetic shit on you, right? Because you got that, and you got the stupid ass helmets that come out of nowhere.
So it's not quite Freddy Krueger rules, because remember with the 3D glasses, it's like you can bring something into the machine. So she couldn't bring the schematic into the machine, but she could bring the ink that was on her arm into the machine. Even though that's also a foreign body that's not part of her, she could bring that in.
But it is on her body.
So if she had the schematics and
maybe she if she used the schematics like a bra or underwear,
like
maybe,
a tampon,
then
she ran jammed them up her coos or something.
Yeah, but then what good is that? You're not going to be able to fucking tell anything except
but Nick,
this is the area in Call of Duty where it's fucking off limits. Look at all the red on the map.
Jesus. The fog of war, Tim? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. No, because then Nick could be like, hey, I'll help you get him out of there. See, that's your way in.
He just doesn't have... No, as soon as he doesn't say, sit on my lap, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
He's got no
As soon
chance.
as he's like, you're calling me at 12:30, that's when it's over. That's when you're like, dude, fucking really?
Unless it's not the first time that she's been calling me at 12:30 to bitch about the boyfriend.
Doesn't matter. You know what you do?
This might not be a new
I'll give you, kids that are listening to this, I'll give you the old Eddie move. Chick calls you up 12:30 because she's crying about something. You're like, yeah, come on over. Steal your parents' alcohol. Steal a bottle.
Hitchhike. Get over that house. Forget the alcohol. Just get over that house. She's calling you at 12:30.
She came over to his place. I'm just saying, steal your parents' alcohol. Be like, all right, listen, I know you're having a hard time. Drink this, okay? And then why don't we try on handcuffs? See what they look like on you. They could look cool. You never know.
Go first, Doing the old Eddie / John Wayne Gacy move.
Exactly.
You want to see a magic trick?
Yeah, I know a real good magic trick. How long can you hold your breath? So they get on their skateboards and they start zipping through the level. By the way, the door, I thought they were supposed to find the door and the key, but the key is next to the door.
The key is right there at the fucking door. Did they put it on easy?
They must have, yeah. You imagine how short Silent Hill would be if all the keys were next to the doors? Maybe the shortest game. And then at that point...
And now all of a sudden the game is timed. You got 30 seconds for each level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, though, it is a 4-year-old who designed this maze. So... Yeah, so the key next to the door, I guess we should, whatever. So anyway, they open the door up, and the next world looks like just some 90s ass screensaver with a bunch of like pyramids and desert and stones.
It looked like, it's a video game movie, and I'm old enough, and I know there's going to be at least a couple of people who get this reference. It looks like they stepped out of this fucking bullshit Tales of the Crypt Keeper game into Custard's Revenge.
Yeah, Custard's Revenge.
That's exactly what that background looked like.
So, Tim, you're telling me
rough.
Alex is just tied up to a tree somewhere, and Nick's got to run and dodge through a bunch of arrows to get to her, to rescue her.
Hey, I don't have a knife. How can I get you out of these ropes?
I have an uncle that had that game.
I did not have that game, but I remember going to Times Square and having the stores that sold video games, having it displayed on a TV, I guess on a loop, just showing the game over and over.
Just attract mode, like on an arcade game where they're like, look how fun this game is. It's like, look, you can rape a woman.
Yeah, because back then, Times Square, the movie theaters would have like a TV almost, and like a gigantic box outside showing like coming attractions and like the movie, whatever they were playing. And then I guess the stores that sold video games caught on doing the same thing, but yeah.
Yeah, Custer's Revenge, by the way, that's a VR multiplayer game that's more fun for one person than the other.
Definitely,
yeah. Don't want to play that one. Sorry. So no, but instead it's.
I want to be player one.
It's not a rape game. Instead, no shit. If you can dodge the arrows, it's a great game. So instead, they find this guy Ben. I'm like, who the fuck is Ben?
Who is this guy?
I have no idea. It's just some dude sinking into quicksand, I guess.
Molten? No, it's smoking and it's bubbling. So that shit is supposed to be hot.
It's supposed to be like lava or something. By the way, this guy is probably the worst actor in the movie, and that's saying something. Because he's all like, oh, help me, I'm dying, or whatever. And she's like, what the fuck, trying to help him. Looks back, Nick's playing with that fucking cube again.
Dude. Is this like something that you used to jerk off in VR?
I have no idea.
Because he's just obsessed with that fucking cube.
So you think maybe it's like the lament configuration for this movie? Like from Hellraiser?
Flesh cube?
Yeah, flesh cube. Yeah, could be that.
Something, right?
Something. Because he's obsessed with this fucking thing. So anyway, she's looking back. He's fucking around with that thing again. She's like, all right, fine. Tries to rescue Ben, but he drowns. So she gets the key, the next key from him. Now she's on level 3 or 4. I don't know. The game is given up.
Well, no, because now a dinosaur fucking a dragon comes out of the sky and chases her.
It's like
and then she jumps in the fucking hole that the fucking guy that we never saw before was fucking drowned in.
Because it's like a skeletal like wyvern. And this is when, by the way, Nick got slashed by the screamer.
Yeah,
I guess.
Oh, it's real.
And then he has real slash marks. So I was like, oh, fuck, it's real. So now the programmer guy, he runs into the arcade to try to help him and invades the system and activates this escape to like rescue Nick, I guess.
Well, she wasn't sitting on his lap, so she didn't get rescued with him. So that's why she's still stuck in the VR.
So I guess
just sit on his lap.
I guess he can remotely execute code on the arcade game, meaning it predates the internet as being somehow connected. So I guess that...
No, he hit the escape button, right?
Yeah, that's true. I guess he just hit the button for him physically there. I'm trying to figure out how the kid's brain could be just in one location and networked to all of the games. Because I'm still stuck on the fact that there's a 4-year-old's brain in this game somewhere.
Brain cells, yeah.
Like, how do you interface that with software? Do you like lay it on the motherboard? Do you?
It's VR.
Oh, okay. It's VR.
It's a cutthroat industry, man. All these arcade companies are trying to outdo the other ones. So I could very easily see at one point Atari goes, our sales are down. We need to get some fucking kids' brain cells into a game.
So you think it's like that comic book that Kiss put their blood in?
Which I had. I don't think it was a comic book. It was a magazine.
Was it? Something like that. Yeah.
It was a magazine interview. Yeah. Like the last paragraph about it. So it blew my mind that I was touching Kiss's blood.
They put a vial of their blood in the ink or whatever.
Which, by the way, hats off to Kiss avatars. Great fucking idea.
Kiss avatars? What's that?
They had their last concert in Madison Square Garden, I think, last week, and then 1 hour after the last concert, without even giving the fucking people who spent. Okay, I've been going into a Kiss fucking rabbit hole because of the last tours. They had VIP tickets going for $1,000 each, and they were selling 200 of them at each show.
Jesus.
Okay, that's not even it. You could have gotten the $4,000 tickets, which they were selling 1,000 of for each show.
$4,000.
And a chance to get a guitar that was played on stage or during the tour.
Nice.
Yes. So right there, that's what, $600,000 they made off of 300 fucking people.
Motherfucker, man.
So yeah, after all of that, they couldn't even give their fans like a couple of days to like absorb. Like, I just saw the greatest live band ever. Mm-hmm. They're never going to perform again. They announced that, they got computer avatars that are going to go on and perform as Kiss for the rest of the time.
Perfect.
Kiss isn't dead. It's just a new thing. And it's just like, And it's what's more fucked up is it's the new guys dressed up as Ace Frehley and Peter Criss, who's the avatars that they use.
Yeah,
so Peter Criss and Ace Frehley aren't even getting any fucking money.
So they're not getting the money. Yeah, fucking great, dude. Oh, fantastic.
No, just look it up because the avatars, they look like shit.
I'm sure
it is just, oh my fucking God.
So you think Peter Criss is going to work on his own avatar and have it touring like as a solo project?
Just, competing avatars.
Yeah,
right?
Why not? Fuck it. And Ace Frehley's got to own some of the rights to the music there, so he could probably do his own little Kiss tour.
No, I think that Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley pretty much had everything locked down.
It was Gene and
because,
Paul.
I mean, look, if they're using their likenesses...
Yeah, that's fair.
That's it, right?
Yeah. I mean...
Because for a while... Wait, hold on. For a while, they didn't. Because they had the other guy...
too, so they can't do the Unmasked
Well, yeah,
tour.
they did that for 1 hour, and everyone, put some fucking
everyone's like,
makeup
fuck
on.
that, I
Jesus
want to see you.
Christ, yeah.
Nobody cares about you. We want to see the masks and shit.
Yeah, because there were 4 other people, I think, that replaced over the years, and they weren't doing Peter Criss and Ace Frehley's makeup.
Right.
But this last tour, they had it on, so... But yeah, just check out those avatars. It just
looks like shit. Perfect.
Looks like shit. I don't know why anybody would spend more than maybe $3 to go see a ticket of going to see Kiss Avatar play.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why people would spend $4,000 to see the real Kiss.
I will say this. I did feel a little bit like, oh, shit, maybe I should have tried to go see them because stupid kid, me, 5, 6 years old, 7 years old, I thought they were the greatest band ever.
I get seeing them. I just don't get the 4,000.
Great live show. Yeah, and it's that, there's no way I would fucking pay that kind of money. Yeah. But still, I could have gotten into the garden for maybe $150, maybe $200
totally.
fucking dollars. But then after the Avatar thing, I was like, you know what? I'm glad I fucking didn't do that because I would have been like, I'll spend $200 to see the last Kiss show ever in New York where they started out at the Garden. And, oh wait, no, they're going to be back at the Garden next week as Avatars.
Yeah. So I guess you can spend $40 to see the Avatars, maybe.
Can we get Avatars of ourselves and just not?
I'd like to. Yeah, that'd be a good
AI with the Avatars.
Yeah, we just got to scan our bodies, and it'll be a lot like Arcade.
We could be the first VR podcast.
I bet there's already a VR podcast. I'll bet you somebody's done it.
Nah.
Yeah. So anyway, Alex dives into this puddle and then finds Goth Lori and Goth Stilts. And
they're doing the fucking Egyptian god thing? What the fuck? We're on the river Styx?
And they're doing the riddle of one of them is the truth teller, the other one always lies, right? But then after...
But he says that he's the guy who lies all the time, right? He says that.
This is my note, is one of them says, I'm the liar. The other one says, I'm the truth teller. Okay, here's the problem. The truth teller would never say that they're the liar because they can't lie. The liar also wouldn't say that they're the liar because they have to lie. So they would have to say that they're the truth teller. So it's already fucked up. What should happen?
But it is a 4-year-old kid's brain cells. So
yeah, that's fair.
Makes sense, right? So all the shit that's wrong with this movie is we just have to keep saying it. It's a 4-year-old kid's brain cells, man. Yeah. They can fucking fill in those polygons.
Because the way that this would work logically is one would say, I'm the truth teller. Then the other one would say, no, I'm the truth teller. And then you're fucked. Because you have to figure out which one's which. That's the whole purpose of this riddle. So,
again, she's playing on the easy level, man. That's it. When the choices come up, there's a little arrow pointing at the correct answer. All the other ones are grayed out. Because they also mentioned 3 times how she sucks at games.
Oh, yeah,
that's
true.
Any game. Yeah.
So you think, Tim, it's like...
Including the boyfriend game.
It's like on those Mario Party games. Like if you really suck, or like Mario Kart, if you really suck and you're in last place, they give you the best power-ups and shit to kind of bump you back up there and make it fair and rubber band you back to where you need to be.
In hockey, I call that ice tilt. When me and my friends are playing a team that is much worse than we are, and there's no reason, and all of a sudden, everything that they're doing is just working out perfectly, and we can't fucking do anything.
AI balancing. So the way she solves this riddle, Tim, is she says, okay, you lie all the time. So which city did you come from? The one on the left or the one on the right? And he says, oh, the one on the left. And she's like, aha, well, you lie all the time. So you would have come from where the liars come from, which is actually on the right because you would have lied and said the left.
Yeah.
What?
It works. She gets past them, right? She picked the right one.
Okay,
so.
In the universe of the movie, it works, Tim. I'll give you that. It works for the movie. It doesn't work.
We're in VR. We're not even in the universe. We're in this universe's VR.
Fair.
So anything goes.
That's true. You got to play by the rules of the game. Tim, you're a tiefling or a drow.
Which constantly change.
Yeah, fair. So she hops on this like boat, I guess. And then she's got to...
Yeah.
That's the next level is you're on a boat.
But then the thing starts chasing her?
Yeah, the screamer is chasing her. And then there's just some shitty kid drowning. And he's like, help, I'm also in the game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right, because we forgot about this fucking very important part of the video game. That just like, all of a sudden you get an extra life.
Yeah, because she rescues the kid. And the game's like, hey, you did a good thing. Have a 1-up.
Extra life.
Cool.
Yeah.
So she has a moment with the kid, just a second. Like, who are you? He's like, I'm just some dumbass that played the game. Now I'm stuck in it. She's like, well, you must be really smart to get here. And he's like, not really. This is a really easy fucking game.
Yeah, not really. All I had to do was just like have my dad open my fucking brain up and put fucking brain cells in the goddamn
don't
game.
give away the twist.
Oh, come on. At this point, as soon as you see this fucking 4-year-old kid in the goddamn fucking game, 3 levels past where everybody else has gotten.
You know it's got to be the kid. Yeah. So...
It's, what's the name from Resident Evil? What's the kid in the computer?
Oh, isn't that Alice? Or the Red Queen?
Is it Alice?
Alice is...
No, Alice is Milla, right?
Yeah, Alice is Mia, and you see her vagina. And the kid is the Red Queen, which is the AI of the weird compound.
The daughter. The original daughter, yeah.
So, then they do the sky cycle.
So all these movies just rip this off.
I guess so, yeah. This was a very trend-setting movie, Tim. For sure. At least in the video game movie department. Right. So, they do the sky cycle chase, which is, it looks like a cross between like a shitty Tron and a shittier Skyfox. Because all she's doing is just flying through the goalposts.
Straight.
Yeah.
Do we even see her doing it? I think we only see the guys who are chasing her go through those fucking goalposts. And
yeah, that's true. Because there's some weird skull bike CG. The CGI in this looks so shitty.
This game looks like it reminds me of Zaxxon for some reason.
Okay, I could see that. So she's. It seems like the easiest level too, because she just, like you said,
Zaxxon was a motherfucker.
She flies like straight, and then there's a giant key that she flies in the keyhole of.
Yeah, that she flies in the keyhole. The key smashes. The two
kills the bad guys
chasing after her.
So then she's in the 6th level, which is Find Arcade's Soul, and there's just like a bunch of these robots where she's trying to find which one has the soul in it. And she's all like, oh, shit, I got to find the...
There should be, like, after, like, 5 minutes just wandering around, shouldn't there be, like, a green arrow that's, like, pointing her in the direction where she's supposed to go?
Yeah, exactly. Or like in the Fable games, the little glowing breadcrumb trail. Like,
yeah.
You sure you don't want to go this way? Sure you don't want to go over here? Well,
it's open world, but you got to go this way.
Well, Arcade gets tired of her not finding the right robot, and then the kid's like, I'm right here, bitch. And you're like, oh, shit, the 4-year-old was Arcade all along.
Maybe that gets the R rating, too, right? You got the kid saying bitch.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun that the kid said bitch. So anyway, Arcade says, like, all right, well, I'm going to make you go to hell with me now, where your mom died. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking weird.
Oh yeah, it starts going off on the whole thing too. Like, I know what you're going through. My mom did this to me. My mom did that to you. Like, you're a fucking computer game. What the fuck?
Yeah, because it's the kid's memories, right? The kid's like, yeah, my mom.
This kid had a fucking tough life.
What was the kid's
fucking
story?
Died and had like an abusive mother while going on, and some dad who's just fucking programming all the goddamn day long.
Well, first of all, that programmer guy, no way he was married and had kids.
Well, here's the thing I have with it. There's no way that's one programmer for that kind of game.
Oh, yeah.
And he fucking hunts and pecks on the keyboard. You can't fucking program a game with one fucking finger.
Yeah, because we cut back to him and Kirk, and Kirk's like, hey, do something, you asshole. Like the programmer's like, no, I'm not doing it. What he, of course he's trying to do something. So anyway, Arcade says, yeah, his mom killed him, and then his dad put his soul in the game.
Wait, that's what happened?
That's somehow the mom neglected him and killed him, and then the dad took part of his brain and put it in the game.
I don't know why, but I just thought that the kid was like dying of like cancer or something like that, and that's why not that the mom killed him.
He blamed the mom. The scene moves pretty quickly, so it's hard to really get.
Yeah. Just don't worry about it.
Plus, his line delivery is not real clear. We'll say the kid. So
he does play Space Invaders a lot.
Yeah. So she rips open some weird box and pulls out some bunch of wires and shit. And then Arcade shoots her ass and says, "Find my soul in your hell and die with it." Then she wakes up like Freddy style 3 times in her house.
Yeah.
She looks around. There's a bottle of pills next to her bed. She's like, "Oh, that's cool." Walks out. There's her mom, and her mom's alive. And she's like, "Mom, is everything all right?" She's like, "Yeah, sweetie, everything's cool. You still sick? Maybe you should go back to bed." She's like, "Nah, Ma, I had this crazy nightmare. There was this game, and it killed everybody, and Seth Green was trying to fuck me, and then so was fucking Ralphie from A Christmas Story." You know how movies are like, dreams are weird. Like, it'll be your house, but not your house. Well, this was Ralphie from Christmas Story, but not Ralphie from Christmas Story. It's insane.
It's like if Ralphie was trying to look like a beatnik.
Yeah, it was beatnik Ralphie. He was trying to fucking fuck me. Badly, too, I might add. And my boyfriend was gone.
I kept giving him all these chances. Like going over his house at fucking 12 o'clock, sneak into his bedroom. Yeah. Like, there's one seat in this fucking video game cabinet, and the guy's telling me, scooch on over.
Like, literally, I almost wore a shirt that said "free pussy" with an arrow pointing down. But...
Insert quarter here.
Yeah, exactly. But then she's like, "Well, I'm just glad you're alive, Mom." And then the mom's like, "No, I'm not actually alive. See, I'm dead." And then she's like, "Hey, watch." And then blam, just blows her fucking brains out.
This is a legit good scene.
It is.
This is maybe like the best scene in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, it's probably the only decent part of the movie. So then the mom, she's like, "Oh shit, my mom shot herself again." She's all freaking out. And the mom's like, "No, it's cool, man. It's like dope as hell to die. There's like a heaven and shit. I'll take you with me."
Yeah, look, there's a rewind button. I went back 15 seconds before I shot myself in the head.
She's like, "It's cool. About here, I'll help you." And then she grabs the gun and puts it up to her daughter's head and says, "Haha, game over, Alex." And Arcade's like, "Too bad, bitch. Now I got your soul." Shoots her, bam, and she's dead now. But Tim, I don't know if you remember this free life she got like 5 minutes ago.
Very important, yes.
They do this in that Scott Pilgrim movie, the with Michael Cera, where because it's video game logic-y, he gets a one-up in it, but it's like in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and then it comes back at the end. Like a Chekhov's gun thing. This...
Not five minutes later, yes.
Later. And then, by the way...
Not only do you have the programmer tell them that, but then you have it where she rescues the kid and you see on the screen, extra life rewarded. Yeah. And then, like you said, 5 minutes later, she comes back to life. So
the other thing is that the extra life that she got is the heart of the arcade. Which is, what? Remember I told you she ripped open this box and pulled out a bunch of wires earlier?
Yeah.
That's like a heart with a bunch of, because she just tosses that at Arcade. And it makes him fall apart. He's like...
I probably was looking at my phone at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. So she throws this metal heart with all these wires at it at the hologram arcade thing that's floating like Old Digger. And he's all like, "No!" And dies.
You found my weakness.
And then the screen wraps it up for us by saying, "Player's soul restored, all players free." Yeah.
What?
That's what the game says. Player's soul restored, all players free. So then she wakes up.
It's all for nothing.
Well, it was all a game, Tim. So she wakes up. She's fine.
Where did all these dead players go during this game while they were dead until they got their souls restored by her winning?
Well, their bodies vanished. So I guess they were in the game. They were wherever the kid's brain was.
Yeah.
I have to assume.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Movie's almost done. I'm not wasting any more time trying to figure this shit out.
This is a Charles Band movie, okay?
An idea by Charles Band. Based on an idea. Not even an idea. Yeah. Based on it.
Oh, and can I also mention the soundtrack to this movie?
Oh my God, this is such a fucking like late 80s, 90s fucking soundtrack.
Yeah. So, but then like weirdly, like Blue Oyster Cult was in it. Yeah, The Horsemen Arrive by Blue Oyster Cult is in it. Because I heard it, I was like, I know that fucking song. What the fuck? Everything else is just by this guy, Matt Wegner. And Matt, quit making music, bud. Not good.
Jesus Christ, how fucking cheap was Blue Oyster Cult? Because this movie doesn't have the money to fucking spend licensing songs.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean,
Eddie, find out how much we could license Blue Oyster Cult. See if we can get Don't Fear the Reaper.
Well, I think Don't Fear the Reaper is going to cost a little bit more than...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're getting the fucking B-side of their fucking, like, 8th single off.
Yeah, The Horsemen Arrive, like... Do you know that song by Blue Oyster Cult, Tim?
Nope, I didn't know it was Blue Oyster Cult. I just kept thinking to myself, this sounds like fucking like The Cure. It sounds like all fucking 90s shit that you'd hear on fucking pop radio.
That's all that other guy that I listed there. The fucking Matt Wegner. Yeah. Terrible.
A friend of Charles Band.
Yeah, must have been because god damn it. So yeah, everybody pops out of the game and they're all okay now. And
awkward. Here's what I have written down. Awkward, right? Because you already told this chick that you had feelings for her. She knows it, and now her boyfriend's back.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because when they go into the game before, that's when Ralphie tells her.
He said, "I don't want anything bad to happen to you because I have feelings."
Yeah,
for
and she's like, "Oh, that's great." Anyhow, hey, my boyfriend Greg's back. So she's giving him a hug.
He's gonna ignore me and nag me, but. Yeah. I'm going to stick with them.
So, yeah, no, then Nick and Stilts, they just kind of fade into the background. And they're all leaving and wandering out of the arcade. Laughing and slapping each other's backs and having a good time. And then Alex is like, guys, wait a minute. If you all came out, what if Arcade came out too? Because now...
Makes zero sense.
Because now the child who died before the game was made... and part of his brain was used to make the game, who's now named Arcade, I guess. Right? Now we've just decided his name is Arcade. So she's like, I wonder if that kid Arcade came out too. Now, I'm not a writer or anything, but if you're going to have a weird little twist at the end where the little kid shows up and calls her a bitch, maybe don't telegraph it by having her ask, I wonder if the kid is going to come out in the next scene. No.
Yeah, it's just like they give you something and then 3 seconds later it happens and you're supposed to be, oh shit, I can't believe that happened, even though I just heard it.
Yeah.
It is a great way with the kid's voice. And
it is funny, yeah. Because she just sees this little kid, she turns around, she's like, what's that? And he's just like, bitch. I'm like, whoa.
Okay, so here's my solution is kill this little kid because now he's in physical form.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like when you bring Freddy to the real world, right? This is such a Freddy movie. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, going in and out.
Going in and out of the weird like VR world, the dream sequence with the mom.
But like nothing happens, interestingly, to kill them in the VR world.
No,
right?
no.
They get killed by a fucking flash of lightning. Yeah. A fucking lightning ball.
No, that's a good point, Tim. Nothing happens in the movie. Otherwise, it would be a good, like, Freddy kind of thing. Yeah. But nothing happens is the problem.
If you're going to go for a Freddy knockoff, what was that one that we did? Bad Dreams?
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Way better.
This one, and I just, by the end of it, I was like, okay, nobody has changed. Nobody's grown. Nobody's learned anything. Nothing has been accomplished. Nothing is different.
Yep, Seth Green still got his snarky remark about how he likes the game. Let's fill out the fucking questionnaire, so I want to make sure I get my copy.
Yeah. Oh, God. He's like, that was a fun
Everybody
game, right?
else is pretty cool with, being in VR and being dead for a couple of game days and coming back.
See, give me that scene where she's like, what was it like being dead?
Yeah.
To people.
What happened? Yeah. It's like the fucking blip in the Marvel Universe, right? Everybody's gone for 5 fucking years, and then all of a sudden you're back, and everybody's just like, back
it's like
to
nothing
normal?
happened.
No.
Like, hey, that's all good, buddy. So, yeah, that was it. That was Arcade from 1993, Tim.
I picked this out of the list of movies that you gave
You did.
us,
This one's kind of on you. But I'll tell you what, though. As far as movies for talking about on the show, perfect pick.
Yeah.
Stupid. Nothing made sense. Bunch of idiots.
Short,
very short.
Could have been a lot shorter if you just got rid of all like the fucking walking and linking camera scenes.
Or if you got rid of the stupid desert thing with the fucking I tell the truth, I tell a lie, that level. And so, by the way, now let's break down the levels because there was supposed to be 7. Here's what I counted.
7.
There was the skateboard level, the truth teller person desert level, and then
the desert level is different than the truth teller level.
So
because she goes through the
desert,
hole in the ground.
That's true.
And then she gets to the underworld.
Then that's level 3 is the tell the truth thingy. So then level 4 would be the speed bikes.
Yep.
Then level 5 would be Where's the Soul with all the robots.
Yeah, but she's playing it on easy.
Which would then make level 6 the weird simulation of her life with her mother. Right?
Okay. All right.
And then she gets out of that, goes back to level 5, throws the heart at Arcade and kills him. Then gets out of the game. So, Tim.
Oh, man, I'm fucking pissed off if at the end of a game, the last level is just a replay of one of the earlier levels that I played. Well, no. Fuck
you'll
that
hate
shit.
survival horror games then, Tim. Let me tell you, buddy. There's a lot of that going on in the Silent Hill and Resident Evil games. So then, Tim, you know what this means. When she escaped the game and she went to her real house and saw that little kid, she's still in level 7. Because technically we only covered 6. And you know what, Tim? Little Internet Movie Database trivia for you. A sequel to this movie was written.
Man, the gall of the fucking people to write a sequel to this movie.
The movie was never made, but it was written.
Just a thought.
Yeah. So...
brief idea of what the movie was supposed to be?
No idea. But it was written...
Arcade comes back. He's grown up into Sid 6.6 or something?
Well, it was written... It would have been written by the David S. Goyer guy, right? Because Band had the idea. He didn't write it. So the next movie...
Yeah, but are you getting Goya back for the sequel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends. So, because his next movie that he wrote would have been The Puppet Masters. So maybe he took some of his ideas.
The Puppet Masters with Donald Sutherland, based on the science fiction.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So that's a big fucking step up from this.
It is. So maybe he took some of his
fucking Ralphie to Donald Sutherland. Yeah.
Hell, even Ralphie to Keith David is a huge fucking step up, Tim. But so maybe he took his good ideas he had for Arcade 2 and used them in the Puppet Masters. Oh, God. So yeah, that's that piece of shit. Definitely, like I said, if don't watch it if it's like you're paying attention to the movie. Put it on the background or something. It's one of those recommendations, I would say.
I don't even know if I could say just put this on the background.
Even then,
there's other things that you can waste your time on watching.
Okay,
that are much better quality and maybe not great movies, but this is just, like I said, this is just a bad movie that's not even good because it's bad.
Wow, yeah.
Shit doesn't make sense. Fucking Ralphie's running around trying to look cool.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I like Ralphie in there. I could go for more Ralphie.
He needs to see. No, what he needs to do, he needs to show some fucking dick in the movie to get away from that whole fucking Ralphie thing, right? He needs to do Elizabeth Berkley.
Wasn't the Harry Potter kid do that? where you could see his dick in some. I thought he did. Wasn't he in some play?
Oh, was that Warhorse? Yeah, he did some play. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking. It can't be Warhorse. I think he was in Warhorse, but something else that he was in where he was showing dong. But yeah, that's right.
Same.
Show them the wand, Harry.
Yeah.
Get rid of the fucking mystery.
Yeah, exactly. What was he in? He was in Equius. That was it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Another thing with the horse.
Yeah.
That's why I got Warhorse and Equius.
Seabiscuit. Something else where you're naked with a horse.
Yeah. See my biscuit. Yeah.
Although he's English, so it'd be his crumpet, I suppose.
But yeah, hold on. Marsha from the Brady Bunch, she did the same thing. After she got out of that, she did some movie that the Grindman covered where she shows
Alyssa
her tits.
Milano, who's the boss.
Yeah.
You got to see her ass and her titties.
Oh, that vampire.
And Embrace the Vampire.
What's the name of that vampire?
Embrace of the Vampire.
Okay.
You got to watch that one, Tim.
Gotta go.
At least a few scenes of it. So I think that about does it for this episode of the Bloody Bits Horror Show. Tim, buddy, is there anything you would like to tell people to pay attention to on the internet?
Of course. Pay attention to us. If you can't join the Patreon for $2 a month, join the Discord. It's free.
That's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, fuck it. No. Join the Discord for $10.
Yeah.
Get access to the blood bank with what? Almost 8,000 movies now?
Almost 8,000. Yeah. Last I checked. And you know what? Let's get a look at some of the most recent editions and see what people have to look forward to. You got Wintertide. That's, let's see here. Beth, a volunteer watch person of an isolated northern city, battles a plague that...
Woke. I don't like that. This is a woke fucking movie. What do you mean a watch person?
Okay, a watch woman of an isolated northern city battles a plague that transforms the few remaining residents into empty, zombie-like automatons. She discovers that by entering an alternative dimension through her own dreams, she is able to stave off illness during the long, possibly endless winter. But will her power be enough to sustain her?
So she's living in a world with vampires and...
No, zombies.
On top of that, she's going into her dreams?
Yeah, so she lives in a world with zombie-like automatons, and on top of that, she can create an alternate reality in her dreams that she exists in.
All right. Well,
okay, if that's not for you,
why not?
What about Infinite Santa 8000?
Killer Santa movie?
1,000 years ago, the world completely collapsed. War, famine, and greed killed off the human race. Not much remains except the mutants, scum, and robo-people. No. Mutant scum and robo-people. Humanity is a long-lost notion. Everyone must kill to survive. Even Santa. So there's no Santa in at the very end of the description. That fucking rules. I might watch that one. That sounds pretty good.
A sneaky Santa movie, right?
A sneaky Santa.
At the whole end of the thing, Santa's just up on his sleigh, just drops the H-bomb on the whole fucking movie and just ends it. That's it. Fuck you. There's no more fucking nice kids. I got nothing to do.
Yeah, so it's like that Robert Pattinson 9/11 secret movie, but instead of the planes flying into the towers, it's Santa's sleigh. So it's like a secret Santa movie.
Man, that takes balls.
That takes some balls to make that
man. No matter how much you're enjoying that movie, however you're feeling watching it, and then all of a sudden that's the fucking ending of it, you just be like, nope.
Yeah, too much. Or Zoo. A couple try to save their marriage during a zombie apocalypse.
Zoo?
Yeah.
That's the name of it? Wasn't that the name of the documentary about people fucking animals?
Yeah, that famously covered Mr. Hands. The guy.
That's what it's from?
Yeah, they talk about that in Zoo, Mr. Hands.
But then there's also a Mr. Hands video.
Yeah, well, that's the video where you get to watch the guy make love to the horse. Zoo is just the documentary. It's like the behind the scenes. So there's like interviews with the horse.
Just because he put a bridle on the horse doesn't mean he's making love to it, Eddie.
That's true. So you think the bridal shower was when his rectum was perforated and he expelled shit all over the bridle? Shit and blood?
Oh, man. That horse must have been like, what the fuck? God damn.
So you get access to all that and our bonus.
I got shit all on my hoofs.
Got shit on my hoofs. God damn it. Pretend this isn't your first time, pal.
Act like you've been
right.
here before,
This ain't my first rodeo. Huh? So you get access to all that and more at patreon.com/bloodybits. For Tim Yobo and Eddie the Axe, folks, I think that this is how we end it.